Bennington show. Ron Bennington, Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Ron Bennington. And Gail Bennington and Ron Bennington. And then Gail Bennington and Ron Bennington. Stupid way to start the show. Seriously. I just like getting off on the wrong foot right away. Emotional haircut. Now, is that Bono and Beck together? What is this?
It's got really does have Bono vibes, but it's LCD Sound System from the new album American Dream.
I thought those fellas broke up. What happened there?
While promoting this new album, James Murphy said, "Yeah, back in 2011, we said we were breaking up so we could sell out Madison Square Garden."
Okay, honesty.
Sneaky. Old Sneaky Pete.
All right, so if you overpaid for those tickets, emotional haircut. It's fucking good. Good tune, man.
It's a good tune. There's a lot of good songs on the album, but that is one of the few that isn't like 9 to 14 minutes long. Yeah. So I picked that one.
The only album I'm listening to now is Hand in Hand, that show from last night. Our own Don Wiki Wicklund produced one of those segments.
I was surprised to find that out today. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And so cool where he produced
at the
show.
Grand Ole Opry.
That's awesome.
I had to tell him it's opera, not Opry.
He's confused.
Sounds stupid. Hey, we got a great Unmasked coming up. Chris Stangley.
That's Unmasked with Pamela Adlon. It's happening next Thursday. Next Thursday, September 21st, 5 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City. You go to ibang.com for free tickets.
It's going to be a who's who of New York comedy. That's what I believe. And it's a little more than a week away.
Yes.
Sounds like I better get an emotional haircut.
Emotional haircut.
I might get an emotional haircut for tomorrow night, too, because I'm going to be joined on stage by Anthony Cumia as we mash up at the Stand.
Just blending styles together as one?
Yes, two hearts beat as one. Going back to you, too. I think we're probably going to do 2 songs and then take improv suggestions from the audience. All right, I'm a cab driver, and Anthony's a proctologist. They always yell out proctologist as if they're the first fucking person who thought of it. Emotional haircut. Put your finger in that guy's ass like it's TSA. Did you see that TSA groping stuff is out?
Yeah, what? So it's a more tight security now?
They said they grabbed this guy's balls 7 times.
Yeah.
Okay, that's too many.
How many?
One light grazing, I think, should do the trick. Just like a swipe, like a credit card swipe underneath should be enough for anyone.
And what if they feel something jagged? Go back in. You just have to say, one of my nuts is a little spurry right now. This is going to sound weird. I don't get offended if you need to grope me. Go ahead and grope.
Yeah. Do you think after a couple times, though, you might think it was excessive? Maybe first time grab.
As long as I don't get wood, I think that's when I'm like, hey, there's not going to be a finish here, is there?
What about one long, firm grab and then a jangle?
Yeah,
is that fine?
Yeah, that's doctor fine. Would it bother you, Chris, to get your junk grabbed?
It does bother me because I'm also pulled aside every single time I go to the airport for my sweaty back, and I don't even like them patting down my back. So I go through the X-ray machine.
You sound like you need baby powder.
Yeah.
Baby powder would actually just...
But I know somebody who he told me that he has very smelly feet, and so he baby powdered inside his shoes because he knew that his shoe that he would have to take off his shoes.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Insecure, and then he takes off his shoes, and then they just see powder everywhere, and then he was stuck there for like 2 hours.
Of course,
because they're like, "Sir, this is highly unusual.
You are not a baby. We know this." Vinno, would it bother you if they felt you up?
I didn't think it would. And then last time I went through, I forgot my keys in my pocket. And they were like, do you want us to do this right here? Or do you want to go to a private room? And I chose in public, and it was pretty invasive to be done in front of
everybody. What did they do?
So they pull me over to the side, and then they start they go, "We're gonna tug at your pants. We're gonna feel we're gonna feel your butt. We're gonna feel your crotch." I was like, "Okay." And then they started tugging my pants, and I was pulling them back up, and they were like, "Stop it!" And I was like, "What do you want me to do?" Like,
I was with Chris once, and they screamed at him to pull his pants up because he was fucking filthy. People. And by the way, this is before he even took off his belt or put his fucking thing in.
I like it loose. I like a loose pair of pants.
Dude, that really makes me laugh.
You don't like it loose. You don't have a choice.
That is killing me, the idea of them tugging at his pants and then going, "Stop it. Do not try to pull those back up. So you're going to take my pants off in front of everyone."
That's real S&M stuff.
No.
But how do you not remember your keys? You're standing there in front of a fucking crate. You know what I mean? Get everything. Although I did forget my little fucking Catholic medal, which, by the way, I forgot today. Okay, bad show from this point on.
No, we're having fun.
No, this show sucks. It's been jinxed. It's been jinxed by the Virgin Mary.
Why would she do that to us?
Because I didn't bring her along.
Anger.
She needs to be brought along for my protection. I don't see that as anything more than straight religion. I don't see that as superstition at all. Do you ever have any flying superstitions?
I have a piece of rose quartz. It's like a palm stone of rose quartz that just makes me feel safe and comfortable. And so I keep it in my hand through takeoff and landing.
Yeah.
And once on a recent flight, I'm trying to think, maybe it was Montreal that I forgot it. And I was like, nope, this is not good. That's the only thing that keeps these planes in the air.
And yet it still stayed in the air.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, that's the funniest thing.
I used to have a St. Christopher medal that I would wear. But then even when he wasn't a saint anymore, I would still wear the St. Christopher.
They desanctioned him?
Yeah, they did back before Chris was even born. They might have just said it doesn't matter if you want to wear it, because a lot of the old people still like St. Christopher. And he was the patron saint of traveling. And then they found out, like Jesus, he didn't exist. So
oh, no.
It made it more difficult to say he's my saint. I don't think I do any of that, but I do notice, and literally this is not on purpose, I always touch the plane before I go in the outside of the plane.
Give it a nice little pat.
Yeah, almost like a locker room thing, like when you're leaving,
good flight.
Sure.
Play like a champion today. Good flight, boy. Good flight, boy. Emotional haircuts. I'm stuck into that now. Dudes, we've got this year's Bennington Thanksgiving, and it's way too early right now to get into details. But it's going to be a fucking classic.
Yes. I think this was a big one. And I will go so far as to say, even though we are in beginning stages of planning, this is a do not miss.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, this is. This is really fucking cool, as a matter of fact. It's going to be what I would call an emotional haircut from this point on. Chris in Idaho. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? How y'all doing?
Cool.
I have a TSA story for you. So I'm prior military, and I was flying in uniform one day, and we wore steel-toe boots. I told the TSA at the gate that I'm wearing steel-toed, and they said, "Oh, it's fine, just go ahead and go through the machine." So I walked through, my boots go off. These motherfuckers took me in the back and strip searched me while I was in my military uniform after they told me it was fine.
Yeah. I think what they're trying to say is we're scared of the military and that you guys are crazy as fuck.
Why the fuck? You want a fucking terrorist or what?
It is odd, and it's hard not to take it personal, particularly when those people that are doing that, they're not policemen or detectives. They're just people who work at the airport.
Just the dude who has a job.
And women. I mean, all right. It seems like the same folks that would work in a big box store. You know what I mean? Like the kind of talking is what you hear when you're in a major box store.
Sure.
You know? So I don't know what the training's like, and I know that if they miss anybody, they're going, all the shit's going to rain down on them. But still. Pittsburgh is doing something weird. They're saying now you can go out to the plane and visit your grandma, and you can walk your cousin out to the plane when they leave.
Yeah, non-ticket holders can now go through security to go
But you've just added tons more people to security.
Why would you do that? That makes it so much more difficult. Makes it so much more difficult and weird. I thought we've already made that decision.
Did you ever been to Pittsburgh? There's a giant sign there that says Pittsburgh, we're a bunch of yinzers. That's when you get there and you're like, oh, this is going to get fucking odd.
You were able to do that before like 9/11, right?
Because security wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
It was the same as like getting into a ball game, but
it was a metal detector.
It was a metal detector that you just walk through, and the guy would go, hurry, hurry, hurry. You know what I mean? Like he didn't give a shit. And everything was great. We used to go out and just like, all right, welcome to Florida. You know, and then we'd walk people out the planes when they would visit. And it wasn't a big deal. And now it's like you can't even stop for them when you're fucking driving around. Like if they're not right there when you pull up, you've got to drive around the airport again.
Yes.
You're doing laps.
So you're just like, please tell me exactly when to be there, or else I'm fucking gone. Okay?
I never flew pre 9/11, and when I was,
it was great.
It sounds amazing. It sounds amazing.
It was the best of times. I had no worries.
Yeah,
I was very comfortable.
It was the best of times. It was not the worst of times.
And then when I was 21, I started flying, and every time I flew, I got pulled. Every single
You look
time.
like a fucking terrorist, dude.
Well, especially back then. I mean, in your early 20s, you had a look about you.
Right. You had a look of a guy who carries a fucking mat with you so you can pray 6 times.
You had the very unkempt beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Longer
you
hair.
look fucking crazy.
I thought I was very offended because it was like 5 or 6 times getting pulled.
You can't get offended. No. You just gotta fucking just depersonalize, you know? You just gotta act like none of this is happening. They treated me like shit last time. I'm first class, but they put down Ron instead of Ronald, and everybody for 2 fucking flights treated me like I was the saint trying to fucking bring jewelry in and out of Canada. And then they go, just buck up on cigars. Just buck up on these Cuban cigars. I'm like, are you fucking sure? And it's something like you can get 2 boxes apiece.
Nice.
Yeah, I got 2 boxes for me and some little kid that I found just fucking hanging around there. I gave him a fucking 5 spot. I said, here, go down to the fucking video parlor and play Atari games. And he's like, what? I go, you know how little kids, you like to go in there and play Space Invaders? Have fun with it.
It's $5, kid.
You know how many tokens you're going to get with that? Vito is just scared of the tourist.
Tourist in this?
All right, the new Apple iPhone X is got everybody a buzz. I guess is this the one that's going for a G Note?
Yeah, this is a $1,000 phone, the 10th anniversary.
Do they realize that fucking technology is supposed to get cheaper, not more expensive?
Yeah. Why? Well, not only is it getting more expensive, it's getting weirder and weirder. And
why?
This one,
I know nothing about it.
This one has the way you unlock your phone is a facial scan. So you remember how weird it was when you're like, oh, that's weird. The iPhone is learning your thumbprint, and that seemed kind of strange. Facial scan. This next phone will unlock just by looking at your face with the front-facing camera. So weird.
And there's no buttons on it, I believe.
There's no home buttons.
What?
Yeah,
there's no buttons on it.
This guy will not exist.
You just talk to it, and then it just reads your
touch
face.
screen, and then the facial recognition. I think.
How far away do you think we are that people think the touchscreen is like, oh, can you believe they used to use their dumb fat thumbs like that instead of just talking to your computer like it was a friend?
I'd say we're 8 years away from people
80?
thinking 8.
Oh.
That we're thinking that the touchscreen.
25.
That people will think touchscreens are stupid and disgusting and dirty. Like, I think people already sort of think.
Did you know that he used to have a fucking phobia about that?
I did not like touchscreens. It fucking creeped me out.
Because of the hand grease?
Yeah. Yeah, and just the overall dirtiness, especially in the subways.
But you're such a dirty person.
I know.
You're fucking filthy.
I like to keep the hands a little clean.
I saw you finger your ass and put it in your mouth one time.
Was that intentional? Or?
Yeah, I didn't think anyone was looking.
And he goes like this. tart.
Like I know it was fiction, but I almost threw up in my hand.
Fiction. It was just a fictional thing because he would do it. Chris would do it.
Chris, why did you do that? And why did you say tart?
Curiosity and accuracy.
So what extra do I get for the $1,000 except for it fucking looks at your face and it says, "Look, you look puffy. Are you having too much salt in your diet?"
I guess they put all the money into just security features, and
that's it. There's nothing new and fun.
It's also wireless charging, so you don't need a charging cord anymore.
Well, how do? You just put it next to your fucking lamp?
There's like a mat that you can put it on.
You just lay it on this charging mat
for $1,000. I don't have to plug in. Forget it.
See, that's bullshit because now you have to pick up the mat and the phone because I'll use my phone as it's charging. So I think this wireless charging thing's a fucking sham, and it's making the phones worse. I don't mind plugging in.
I'm not really even sure how it works though.
Well,
but I know that
the Apple Watch already had something like this, where it's like a little thing that you just put your watch on top of. So now it's just that's bigger, and you could put the Apple Watch, you could put the iPhone X, the iPhone 8 Plus, the iPhone 8.
See, all these features I won't know until a couple years from now when that phone is considered garbage and everyone else
to get it too.
All my phones have always been many years behind.
I like to be one or two behind everything.
Definitely.
Let them work it out a little bit and let it come down to nothing. Let a person go like this. Look, at this store, they'll go like this. I'll give you $85 if you just fucking just take this phone.
And I don't know if you've seen this, but some people are like iPhone shamers. Like the people who always have to have the newest phone. I have like iPhone SE, which I think is somewhere between 5 and 6. It's like almost like 5.5 or something like that. And a friend of mine who always has new technology, picks it up and he's like, "What is this even? Is this like a 3 or a 4? I'm like, it's not a 3 or a 4. Okay.
It's just a brick you have?
Stop making fun of my iPhone. This was cool a couple years ago.
I won an award for having less apps than anybody on the planet. All right, here's an iPhone thing that's weird. So, Gail and I family are down in, they moved over to Orlando to get out of Tampa, and then the fucking storm starts to head for Orlando. So there was, all kinds of bad weather. So they all decided, they're fucking panicking. So they run across the street to a 7-Eleven and just start buying fucking snacks, right? All their phones go off at the same time. Tornado warning that was aimed just at that fucking area. So in other words, you wouldn't have gotten a tornado warning unless you were in the area with the tornado. They're from like 120 miles away, but the phone knew where they were and they got the tornado warning.
That's creepy.
It's really, really weird. I like that all of those security preferences and privacy preferences. Most of them I don't even think about or realize. Like, I didn't even know that thing where you take a picture and you send it and sometimes it has a location
it's the
attached to it.
Yeah.
That's very weird.
It is weird, but did you notice in all these years no one's been stalked and hurt over it? It's like sometimes I think, I don't know. I think both sides are wrong like I do with everything.
Does that mean everyone's right? Nope. Everyone's wrong.
Everyone, whatever your decision is, I think that you're wrong. And I think that you're a creep and a weirdo for it.
That's how they found McAfee when he was down like in Bolivia or whatever, trying to get out of the country. Because someone like uploaded a picture of him, like the Vice guys, and his like location was in the picture. So that's how they that's how the government found him and the rest of them.
But then he just faked a heart attack and then somehow got to one extra thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't in Bolivia. Where the fuck was he? He was in that beautiful Belize. He's the Belize guy. And then he got whatever is one thing south, I think Alabama. I think he got down into Alabama and was able to go buck wild there. It's the Bennington Show and a very cool Unmasked next week that you want to be part of.
That's Unmasked with Pamela Adlon. It's happening next Thursday, September 21st, 5 p.m. at the Village Underground in New York City. You go to the ibang.com for free tickets.
I love the first season of that. She and Louis Louis C.K. co-write this show. I thought the first season was perfect. All the early reviews are saying the second season's better.
I'm really looking forward to it because that was a show that I loved from episode 1. It's not. Oh, it's a very difficult thing because there are plenty of good shows that I stuck with. That like the first episode, you're kind of like, I don't know. We'll have to see how this pans out.
Right.
This was like immediately. I was like, okay, this is a fucking phenomenal show.
It's her, man. She's great. She's just great. If she turns on me, I'll just fucking take it. Like all the men on that show have to. She just gives people shit. This is my new favorite story that's out there. And I think, of course, Big Chris Stanley sent this in. Denny's has an awesome new mascot. You can see this up on the iBang today. And it's a sausage wearing a hipster hat. What's that hat?
That's a fedora that
Okay.
sausage is wearing.
And it basically looks like a turd. It's just a turd.
That is so disgusting. That's supposed to be a sausage?
That's a sausage.
That's disgusting. And can I say this?
By the way, doesn't this look like a parody that somebody would do?
Yeah. Because it looks like Mr. Hanky.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, it is.
The Christmas.
How?
It's exactly Mr. Hanky.
Now, here's the worst part. It's like, as if the sausage itself wasn't gross. It's a fedora, but it's also like a really ratty old fedora. Like,
Right.
it's like a...
It's like an old man sausage.
Yeah, like it's elderly looking, not like,
Okay,
oh,
no
I
one
just
wants
bought
to-
this new fedora.
Yeah.
This looks like this sausage is old. Is the first thing I think is...
Yes.
This sausage is well into his 80s.
It looks like old shit that we're going to put. And then the other thing that's kind of gross, I didn't know that they've got the fucking packs. Like, they ripped off Chris's burger place.
Oh yeah, the Crave case.
Yeah, I don't feel like leaving with a case of fucking Denny's.
And this Dookie has 2 cases worth. I mean, this thing can't get enough of its own product.
Nobody works in the marketing firm that could speak up and say, boss, I took a shit that looked just like that today.
Do you know how many people have to sign off on something like this? Like,
I know.
How many meetings? Like, how many ad meetings where they're going back and forth? They reveal, they turn the board around. Everyone's like, let's see. What does everyone likes this? Who said it? Was there one guy who's like, guys, we're making a huge mistake? And they're like, shut up, Bob. We're going with the sausage. Why?
See, here's the deal in this, too. I bet nobody from Denny's came up with this. They actually went out of their way
Third party.
to pay
Yes.
some fucking Madison Avenue thing.
100%.
They came in, and then the Denny's people are like, yay, that's going to make us kick ass.
What did they base? Like, what other ad did they base this off that they're like, clearly this will be successful because like, nothing's this bad?
I never even want to think of my food as having a personality. Even if that was the most delicious looking sausage man ever. They should just have him screaming as you bite into him.
Well, the sausage like face looks like he's freaked the fuck out. He doesn't even look happy. He looks like
You know, you're right.
He does look
He's like,
concerned.
people are eating so much sausage. I'm sure I'm going to be. Now, here's the other thing. So he's just made out of sausage, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't his arms and legs made out of sausage? Like, we're made out of human meat, but you don't look down and go, oh, yeah, and then we have wheels. Something that has nothing to do with us. His legs and feet and arms would be made of sausage. He's a sausage person.
Yeah, it's not like a shirt. It's just these creepy white appendages.
Oh,
And a pair of Keds, it looks like.
It looks like they took like just a real picture of a sausage too, and then just plastered eyes on it.
I'm telling you,
the
this thing got,
texture of it is disgusting.
this thing got put together by a guy who's trying to get fired. And he knows that they got to pay him some money if he hits the door. So he goes, I just came up with a fucking freaked out turd that has...
Okay, tell me more.
They're eating! Like, I didn't even watch that cartoon where the food has fucking personality.
Oh, yeah.
Sausage Party.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see it either.
I bet that's what they try to base this on. Like, the kids love Sausage Party. Let's give them their own. Denny the sausage guy. But he's really scared.
Does anyone have clip art? Get some eyes on the sausage?
No, we don't know what the voice of this sausage is.
Help me!
But
I'm burning!
considering the way he looks in that hat, he looks like he'll cough a lot.
Yeah. I'm coffee the sausage.
Sausage and coffee.
Make sure you get some of our coffee. Fucking stupid Denny's.
And they haven't even given him a name. He doesn't have a name either, which is, I think, if you have a cartoon character fucking sausage.
Tell him I want the name shit for him.
Shit.
This is better than the one that they used to have, though.
What was that?
Just diarrhea.
It's a bucket?
Yeah. And then their fucking thing was at Denny's, you'll probably get diarrhea. Some guys don't, though. Some guys have a strong stomach. Spin the wheel, make the deal. You're already drunk.
God.
What a horrible idea.
This is really bad.
I mean, the way that you do that late night Denny's when you're young and you're just so fucking drunk.
Yeah.
And then you put like pancakes and syrup on your drunk belly and then go and pass out.
It's awesome. At the time.
And you think you're doing yourself good. You're like, I'll feel great in the morning because I'm carbo loading right now. I'm going to feel good.
Soak up this booze I've been drinking.
I never even remember being able to speak properly. I would just be like, I
think he wants pancakes.
They know, just bring pancakes if they can't understand it.
Would you like some sausage links? Have you seen our mascot?
Maybe that's what their mascot is, just supposed to be a drunk.
I was in a fucking Denny's because we used to dine and dash a lot anyway when I was younger. They didn't take it as personal as they do these days. And these two fucking buddies of mine, they were walking around Denny's with people that were done eating and said, "Are you going to finish that?" And I saw a friend of mine, and these are fucking middle to lower middle class kids. They weren't starving. And he takes a piece of fucking bitten toast and he's wiping it all over the place, sopping it up and eating.
Ew, for some reason, like somebody else's like over easy egg, just like
dude, he was
like bitten toast and somebody else's yolk is really gonna make me puke.
And I remember looking over and going, man, we got real fucking problems. This fucking partying thing is getting darker. And then these people had eaten all their food and he called them pigs. What? He said, "You pigs ate all of the food." Like it was his brother. He would do that all the time. I saw him at a fucking pizza place and he went over and somebody had finished their fucking pizza. And he just put his head down on the fucking table and was so depressed.
Oh my God.
Judgmental.
Yeah, he gets his fucking feelings hurt. Hey, Henry, what's up?
Yeah, whoever made up this ad has got to be an evil genius because he's got you and how many other thousands of radio shows talking about the poopy-looking sausage and spreading the word.
Well, look,
I
it's a very good point because I think that those KFC things are fucking horrendous, and yet KFC has gone up.
Yeah,
people are going to KFC after seeing what I consider mental illness going on, and they must be paying like fuck. You can't believe, because everybody's saying yes to it.
One colonel after another. Yeah, there's been a lot now.
I saw Hillary Clinton dressed up as him. Here come the KFC. It's one place the Russians won't get involved. No, they see. There is some truth to what he's saying because fucking ads are just bananas now. No matter what they are.
It started. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it did start with those really bizarre Skittles ads.
Yeah.
And then after that, and I think the guys who were behind that, whoever those kids were who did that ad, that style just got copied over and over. And so in the last, I don't know, I guess I would say the last decade, they just try to out-weird themselves.
Old Spice does it too now, or they've been doing it.
Right. They have been doing that for a while.
Just be bizarre and fucking odd.
Yeah, but remember they used to just do those for little kids on Saturday mornings?
Right.
And now they just figure out, hey, adults are every bit as dumb and tripped out as children are.
There was also some ice cream company that did a commercial like not too long ago, and it was like really weird, and it looked like the person was eating from their own head, the ice cream. It was so creepy. That the whole point was just like that it wasn't appetizing at all.
Yeah, right. Just make people talk about the commercial.
Phil in Canada. Phil.
How you doing, man?
Hey.
I think you guys are missing the whole family here. There's the whole ad campaign is called the Slams. There's a piece of bacon. There's an egg. There's Hash Brown as himself. There's Mr. Bulb
as himself.
Yeah.
The other ones are played by other types of people.
It's called the Slams.
Do they all look like they came out of your ass? Oh God, look this is an acid fucking.
Yeah, I don't like any of these.
Meltdown.
I don't like any of these. I really dislike.
You're gonna eat us in days.
I really dislike the pancake with the butter nose. I hate it.
It actually says, "Please don't" underneath it.
I don't like its hat either. Shitty trucker hat.
Jamie, New Hampshire.
Hi, Ron. You might remember this better than me. Denny's, I think, used to be called Sambo's.
Well, they were two different organizations, and then they might have bought some of them down south. But when I first went down south, there was a restaurant chain called Sambo's that was very, very big, based on the racist story about Little Black Sambo.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like they even had a minstrel character.
Yeah, go look up just like old Sambo's, and it was something that had to be pointed out to people that it was offensive. Because wasn't the story of Sambo, didn't he run around and the tiger turned into butter or some crazy story?
Something about the tiger took his pants and then his umbrella and all this stuff. And somehow he gets the tiger to chase his tail, and then it turns into tiger ghee or like tiger butter.
And there's the logo, which is pure blackness with a pair of eyes. Is that the story or is that the restaurant?
This is the restaurant.
Wow.
This is
That's fucking crazy. It's particularly that it only ran down south. But it was exactly the same as going to Denny's or any of those other breakfast places.
Then it seemed updated with like maybe an Indian boy or a Hindu boy.
Yeah, they tried to move it to an Indian kid to...
Is this less offensive to you?
Yeah, like, hey, I get it now. We had a slave. Now we're just going to bring in an Indian guy who talks funny.
There's a ruby on his forehead. At least they kept the tiger.
Hey, Dave. Dave in Jersey.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Pamela Adlon one day. Huh?
Yeah, you're on the air, but...
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Hello. Yeah, what's up with Pamela Adlon? And you can ask her about this new movie that she's in with Louis C.K. I mean, that'd be... did you hear about this? What's going on?
Well, Louis made a secret movie. He didn't tell anybody about it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I've never heard of anyone making a secret movie. And then he took it to Toronto, got some great reviews, got bought. He just used his own cash. And he's
I think she's in it, and it's about, I don't know, Woody Allen and...
well, there's some talk about that. Yeah. There's some talk that John Malkovich's character is based on Woody Allen. I don't know whether that's true or not. I kind of don't want to even know too much about it.
Yeah, I know very little, but I'm interested to see it. But yeah, I mean, the whole story seems like it has Woody Allen vibes, even just as like the premise of it, shot in black and white.
Well, I think it was, this is my take on it. It's like, what if you were that girl's dad in a Woody Allen movie, right? The one in Manhattan. So, but... Again, I don't want to know anything about it. I just want to go and see it and check it out. And yeah, Pamela Adlon is in it too. It's going to be a great unmasked. Really looking forward to it. Thanks for calling, Dave.
Thank you. Take care.
Peace. Jay, down in Mississippi.
Yo.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on? Nothing good?
Yeah, what can we do for you?
Okay, so Chris mentioned the Mahaffey character, and there's been a documentary on HBO or Showtime talking about this cat, and one of his fetishes was that he liked to poop in his girlfriend's mouth.
Well,
and the documentary is telling you
All right. Well, yeah. Let me explain it to everybody so the guy who Chris brought up from Belize, right? They did a documentary on him, and I think his name is McAfee. And if you've ever had a computer in the '90s, you saw
the antivirus thing.
The
right?
antivirus thing was on there. That was him. He made a bunch of money doing that. Then he went down to Belize and he was just acting fucking buck wild, and he was paying girls allegedly, to. They were like, oh, he's having sex with all these young girls. But he just liked them to fucking take a shit on him. And according to these girls, he had a table built with a fucking hole that they could comfortably sit on while he waited for some shit. And when that came up, I saw his Twitter the night that it ran. He was just fucking rolling. He was laughing his ass off. And he goes, I can't believe this is on HBO. I can't believe HBO is running like he was totally fucking just having a ball with it.
So gross.
And when that came up in the documentary, just one girl after another saying, yeah, because he had 3 or 4 girlfriends.
He always kept a few at his
compound.
Yeah.
With his own police force.
They weren't all lookers, which I always thought was kind of interesting.
Well, I guess if you're just interested in their shit.
I guess it matters not what they look like, but more what they eat.
What they shit like.
Yeah.
He's one of the few that says beauty's on the inside.
That's beautiful.
Of your colon. Says it's all right. Yeah. Plug that Pamela Adlon again, Chris. You plug everybody else's thing that comes fucking in here like they're the king of the world. You don't mention nothing about me and Anthony tomorrow night at the Stand. First time ever. A fucking comedy duo.
Ron and Anthony will be doing a mashup tomorrow night at the Stand. Go to thestandnyc.com for tickets.
Look, he doesn't mention it's Ron Bennington and Anthony Cumia. A lot of people might think it's my neighbor, Anthony.
Ron Bennington and Anthony Cumia will be doing a mashup tomorrow night at the Stand in New York City. Go to thestandnyc.com for tickets. And next Thursday, September 21st at 5 p.m., there's Unmasked with Pamela Adlon. That's the Village Underground in New York City. You go to the ibang.com for free tickets.
You struggle with Adlon?
I haven't before, but I just there.
he was like, oh, shit.
Pamela Adlon.
Saying this right?
I hope so.
I'm trying. Oh, shit. God damn it.
I thought you were trying to get my attention.
No, this is no. I can't reach for some reason. I want to get this tweet out. Just having one of those fucking days because I didn't wear the Virgin Mary.
I wish you wouldn't jinx you like this.
All right. Hey, Terry, what's up?
Ron and Gail, it doesn't matter if Osama bin Laden is the new image for Denny's. Those drunken fools will still eat there. I used to be a waiter, midnight shift when I was in college. I got into 2 fist fights with different tables. They didn't even think about firing me. They just understood it. You're just defending yourself.
What are you going to do? It's the clientele.
I couldn't, if anything, you should have got Employee of the Month. But yeah, you're right.
It was expected.
Yeah, if that place was just called We're Open, because I've driven miles, drove miles to get to an open Denny's.
And all the cops hung out there. It was totally safe. They covered our ass every time there was a fight.
Yeah, sure, because you guys gave them free food.
Anything they wanted.
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Peace. Hey, Rudy, what's up?
Hey, Ron, this is Rudy. First, long-time listener.
Thanks, buddy.
Just calling in. There was a restaurant in the South called Coon Chicken Inn. If you look that up, it's
Jesus. Jesus. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, God.
Not good.
That's bad.
That was bad even in 1930.
Oh, my God.
In 1930, they knew they were doing the wrong thing. All right, so we're talking about the fact that by advertising, you just want people talking about it, and that makes a good ad. Now, there's a show going on, Hell Night, the night before Halloween, and we just tweeted out, our good buddy Sherrod Small has put this show together. And he brought it up to me, and I go, oh, that's brilliant. So, Chris, read off the name of the gig and who's all going to be performing there.
Hell Night with Sherrod Small. That's Dave Attell, Artie Lang, Keith Robinson, TJ Miller, and Artie Fuqua.
Unbelievable show.
Whoa,
right?
that's
Now,
awesome.
Here, Chris won't read the whole thing, and it's way over there, so I can't see it. I never get this thing tuned in. But it's your near-death experiences, right? So anybody who's been close to death, of course, Artie Fuqua was in that terrible accident. Don't know what the other people... Well, Artie Lang, we know his near-deaths.
Right.
So read off the list again.
It's Dodging Death with Dave Attell, Artie Lang, Keith Robinson, TJ Miller, and Artie Fuqua.
Now, the beautiful thing about Sherrod, the genius thing here, is that he's misspelled enough for the words. They went back and fixed the tell, but there are still two misspellings on this poster. You found one?
I found one, yeah.
I think I can see one from here. Is it Artie Lang? Is this
Artie Lang. And then also, you guys haven't seen this, check out Village Underground.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So, first of all, I was laughing my ass off at it yesterday. And then today, they'd fixed the tell, but still left two misspellings.
Oh, no. You always need an editor. Someone with a keen eye.
But it's about dodging death.
I would be so... I mean, the lineup is great, but I would be just fascinated to hear Dave Attell's story. Just
Well,
be like,
I think
now
I know
something.
everybody else's story. Artie was in that, Artie has been dodging Artie and overdoses and near suicides for a year. Keith Robinson had the stroke. TJ Miller had a brain thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had to operate on his brain. He had like a walnut size, whatever those fucking things are. Artie Fuqua was in the bad accident, but I do not know Dave Attell's. Sounds like a fucking great show.
I know. It's a really good show.
It's Monday, October 30th at 8 p.m.
He brought it up to me. I'm like, no. And then later I thought, fuck, I had my appendix explode.
I know.
Here's the problem there. They said I was near death. I said I wasn't. I would not accept the death thing. And
Yeah,
they're
you're
like, which would happen was very dangerous. I'm going, just let me out.
I just need a nice shower and a nap, and I'll be fine.
I'm just going to keep walking around here. All right, people want to know if he slurred Marty Fuqua. It may have sounded that way, but it was not.
No, Artie Fuqua.
It just sounded like Marty Fuqua. Joe, East Hampton.
Yes.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Well, I heard about when I was listening to his Little Black Sambo book. My mother just recently passed away. She's 87 years old, and she used to read it to me when I was a kid. And I asked her, where did she get it? And she got it from for a Christmas gift at Sunday school from the minister back in 1937. So.
All right. Chris, people banging out that they're upset about the on-demands this week. Who do we talk to about that?
We can talk to Don about that.
Well, who do we talk to on our team who would know whether the on-demand was working?
Vito.
Because we put it up, Vito, right?
I'm sorry, I did not hear. I was on the
Your on-demands are not working this week.
That wasn't what the issue was. I'm talking to him right now. He's a former Audible person who wants to know if we can get the on-demand switch to being on longer than a week.
No. Just listen. It's radio. It's just radio. It's not to be saved. It's like, can I see your sandcastle from last June? I love it that, but just catch up wherever you are. You can miss some shows. I miss shows. I'm sitting in here. I don't remember the last 2 weeks worth of shows.
What did we talk about?
What? Did we even do a show yesterday?
Believe so.
Who was on it?
Chris?
Anthony Cumia and Artie Lang.
That sounds like a big show. How did you forget? That sounds like a big AA show.
It was a great show.
You don't even remember it. Well, it's all right. You know what? Let's bring our girls in and see if they're offended by the Black Sambo stuff. Because I never know how that is.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say yes, but I could be wrong.
Amani and Jen, come on in here.
I didn't realize it was so prevalent in fast food in the South. I mean, it was everywhere, it seemed.
Yeah.
Well, they got some traffic over there.
Yeah, of course they did, Chris, but thanks for filling in. Come on in, ladies. Now,
Hi, ladies.
Were you guys even familiar with any of this stuff? Yeah. Now, I will say this. There was still... So you saw the Sambos, right? Yeah. And that was like, what the fuck, right? This will let you know how much progress we made. That restaurant chain was still around in the 80s when I first moved to Florida. That's how close that is. Yeah. There was still Sambo's restaurant chain in the South. I remember getting down there going like this, where the fuck am I?
Is this a time machine or a car?
That's a fucking great joke. Sometimes it does feel like, okay, I'm back in the 80s, 70s. Ooh, I'm going to slow down right here in the 30s. So, when you see that, what was the first thing that pops into your head?
It's a bit racist.
Bits, yes.
I mean,
yeah. It's like going to a place called Lynchie's. Now, would you have eaten there?
Probably not.
Hold on. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're drunk. Would you have eaten there? That's the thing. That's always the hard thing to figure out. Because you'll be surprised how you drop stuff.
Yeah.
The drunker and the hungrier you get.
Especially if the only other option is that Denny's sausage place. And then you're going to go, ugh, definitely don't want to go in and see that sausage.
Yeah. That would be tough to do. I don't know if there's even anything appealing, any place that's appealing when you're drunk. Like, you're not like, hey, let's go there. The food's great.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. It just is food.
Is it hot?
You want it hot, buttery, and greasy, and bad for you. I eat a place called Bad For You, and it's so delicious.
I want a lot of it, more than I should be ordering.
Yeah. But you guys are both young, so you don't even know how close you are to that kind of stuff. Because in my lifetime, the civil rights stuff happened. So I was down in Mississippi when I was like a little kid. And that was like leaving Philadelphia and landing on, to me, it was like another planet. That's how different the people were. And even the airport, it was small, but it looked like an old Southern, what are those places called? Like a mansion?
Plantation?
Yeah, it looked like you were pulling up to a plantation.
So when is this?
Yeah.
But you know that bringing up, you know, civil rights happening in the 60s. This is why it's always a difficult thing when we do the thing where we're going, oh yes, but that person's old and so they're set in their ways. And they're like, yeah, how old were they in the 60s? You know what I mean? If you're talking about somebody who's in their 30s or 40s in the 60s.
Yeah. Well, if you
you
would
should
have been an
been
infant.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, people don't even bring this up. Boston had a lot of trouble with the busing. Philadelphia did. It wasn't just a Southern thing. It was more of a Southern thing because, you know, they went for the whole fucking game down there. But, you know, our progress is the slowest thing that we do. Yet, if you hang around long enough, you're like, oh, shit, yeah. I mean, in your guys' lifetime, people would be anti-gay. It was only a couple years ago.
Yeah, that is such a new thing that we're probably all very comfortable with.
Yeah.
But yeah, in our lifetime, it changed dramatically. And forget, like, trans being a part of a conversation.
Whether trans people should be in the army or not.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that that's a serious conversation that people have, that they even know that those people exist, is already a big change.
But it's like when you're on the ground floor, progress never feels like it's happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it just kind of does.
Right. That's why that go slow is so offensive. That you're like, go slow for you? You know what I mean? Like, you have all your rights.
You
What do
have to go slow for people my age. We want to go very, very slow. Because here's, this is also what happens. For some reason, we have this feeling like if people are getting more rights, someone else is getting less rights. Right. You know what I'm saying? It just feels that way. Even now, you can see gay marriage hasn't changed anything for anybody. I don't know a single person who goes, my life has been destroyed by gay marriage. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not involved in that marriage.
We didn't, like, distribute, like, love or rights or respect.
Or no one's ever been forced into a gay marriage. But people fought that hard because they don't want to lose the way things were. They wanted to have their sambos, pancakes. Crazy.
So weird.
Craziness.
And nothing is weirder than hanging on to that kind of stuff. They're like, look, we like our samples. Okay?
Yes, people did it.
Yeah, it hurts you, but we enjoy the logo. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, if you look at what you're losing.
I take my whole family to Sambo. Sambo good. But I was thinking about yesterday when, or 9/11, when I said, what would be the change? And Jen said, if the older people would have more progress. And then Chris said, more money. Right? Yeah. And I'm like, literally, that is, I was thinking about that later. I'm like, that's pretty much the story of America right there. You know what I mean? Can we make more money and can I shape the neighborhood or the country in the way that I personally think that it should look?
Yeah.
It's strange, right?
It is very
They came down and they just cut to the essence of everything. Everything's essence was right there. But here's another weird progress thing. So, the single payer thing, right? Mm-hmm. When it came up, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, not a single congressman got behind it. Now it's like 20 or 30%.
Yeah.
That's an amazingly fast thing, although if you're sick and you have no money, it feels slow.
Right. But it is better slow than nothing.
But what do you think we're going to look back on at this time and think that was nuts? Nuts. I'm going to say, like, I think people look back in this age and go, wait, there were still black people in Harlem? How did that, how did they...
It's the whitest neighborhood there is.
Anyone who thought, like, Harlem is like 30, 40% white, that never would have happened.
Yeah.
That used to be the black capital of America. And now you're just like, everybody.
Well, there's a nice bunch of brownstones to renovate up there that people are just
First of all,
buying
the best brownstones in this fucking city.
They're beautiful.
They're just unbelievable. And very rich white people are going to be living in every single one of them.
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to look back on and say it's weird, Gail?
I think that that there's no way that healthcare doesn't make big changes. I think that's got to be a big one, and possibly, I'm hoping prison system.
Just redone completely?
Yeah, completely in prison system.
Just redone completely?
Yeah, completely redoing it. Maybe moving away from private prisons. That's hopeful thinking, but I hope
what do you
that's
think,
what we...
Chris?
I think the way we travel, people look like, how the hell did they do that? Why would they take these tiny planes or just even just drive around everywhere? I think
how are we going to travel?
Like Hyperloop or something, or self-driving cars. Self-driving cars.
Everybody sees self-driving cars. All right, I'm going to say this because I'm going to say more of a social thing. I think the fact that people are going to look back and go, first of all, they were all so fat.
Yeah.
And second, they gave children sugar. They were just like giving kids candy will look like if you just said to a kid, here's some cocaine. Why don't you eat some cocaine, kid? Then they're going to think that we're nuts.
That change
particularly
happened.
if the government gets involved in healthcare.
That change happened in my lifetime where kids had cans of Coke in their lunch. I mean, not all parents did it. Some parents were, I mean, my mom would not give me a can of Coke in my lunch. But but plenty of kids had that, and plenty of kids had like Twinkies. And I think now, because it's more of a conversation about obesity in America, that at least most parents would only just do it because they're like, I'm not going to have my kid look like garbage kid.
Right, but they're still eating like that in the house.
Right.
Like if your baby's crying, you're just like, here, I'm going to just pour sugar into your mouth. I'm just going to pour it into your mouth.
Sweet sugar.
I'm going to bake. I'm going to bake fatty fats and put sugar on it and give it to you. But yeah, you're not going to see that. All right, what about for you, Jen?
I think that, like when we look back and we see like all these, the police beating, black people and just being so crazy on camera, I think we're going to look back and be like, wow, nobody did anything about that?
Mm-mm. No.
Like it's all on camera. We're not doing anything.
What do you think the police in the future will be like then?
I hope, and I think that it will change. I think that they'll take classes where they can not be so biased. And
do you think body cams will be like a more
body cams has already changed shit for people?
Yeah, that's a step.
But even the fact that there's body cams is kind of a weird. You know what I mean? Like constant watching. We're watching each other all the time. Like, is this a city or a fucking 7-Eleven that you're worried I'm going to steal some goddamn peanut butter cups? You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to walk down the street. Is that possible? Without going, like, anyone's there he is, motherfucker's walking along. Because I remember I used to feel weird when I went in a casino.
Yeah.
Because you're watched the whole time. Now you're watched the whole time in a city. Yeah. I don't know why anybody commits a crime anymore.
It should be impossible.
Yeah.
Even to have the thought of like, even if you ever even think about it for a second, like, then how am I going to dodge the camera?
I mean, remember, when I was younger, there literally were bank robbers. People would rob banks, and it was like kind of exciting.
Like cowboys coming in, just like, I'm the money in the bag.
And now there ain't shit money in there, and there's nothing but cameras. You can't get away. Money, what's going to look weird in the future?
I would agree with Gail, the healthcare. I don't know, because I also work like part-time in a hospital, and it's like denying people, you can't deny people service, but when you see like they can't pay for it, it's like where else do you go? Like what else could you do,
So what happened? Who does pay the money that people can't pay for? That's what's always curious to me.
That I don't know, because I'm not part of financial. I usually work in the back, like scheduling, but I think most of the hospital kind of sucks it up. I work for a private hospital, so I think most they kind of suck it up.
But if I show up there and I've been shot with a gun, you got to take me.
Oh yeah, we have to take you no matter what.
And I go, I ain't paying for this shit.
And that's funny because even if like you're not a citizen and like say someone like an immigrant comes in and it's like in the ER, we have to take you. Like we don't ask like where you from,
what's weird in New York City though is you will get a bill for an ambulance.
Oh yeah, a big bill.
Yeah,
super expensive.
What did you get, Chris?
$1,200 for a 6-block ride from.
Did you pay him?
No, I didn't pay them. No,
he never pays.
I ain't paying the ambulance. They're not getting it. I mean, they could have thrown me in the back of the Uber that dropped me off in front of my fucking house. That would have been fucking $12. $1,200 for a fucking ride?
No, I'm thinking that does sound expensive.
It's crazy.
But they put the siren on, Chris.
And plus you get oxygen. That's nice. So you like the healthcare business?
I do. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
I don't even like to be in a hospital. Sometimes I think if I have to go to the hospital, I go, why don't I just shoot myself in the head? And get ready to look.
I don't know. I kind of like the excitement.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody's finger is torn off.
Blood everywhere.
You know what I mean? Someone's like, I can't put my tongue. Like, I can't help you, man. Freak it out. Vito, what about for you?
I think the way that like the housing bubble came apart, I think the student loan industry is going to come down to the same thing. And people are going to be like, oh, wow, like we depended on millions and millions of dollars from people who had no way to ever pay it back.
Chris, you also refuse to pay your student loan.
Yeah, about $20,000 that I'm just like just ignoring.
Put that over with the hospital bills.
Yeah, it's same thing. Same. I treat the same thing as an ambulance fucking ride.
You had an ambulance ride through your education that you refused to pay for.
I have another one too that I'm wondering if it will change in our lifetime. People will look back. Considering the way things are moving, do you think the gender neutral phenomenon, not necessarily raising people gender neutral, but just men's clothes, men's bathrooms, women's bathrooms, products for men, products for women, are going to become
Well, this is a big part of Pamela Adlon's show too. It's like there's a little girl on the show who feels more like a boy but hasn't hasn't made any decision where you're like, there you are. And I think a big part of that has to do like the parents. It'll be about parents more than it is about kids.
Yeah.
Because I think you just kind of slide to wherever society takes you when you're a little kid. But since we've set up this what does it matter thing.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know, that part I didn't even see coming, and it seems like it's traveling fast.
It does.
The identity. Like the thing of if someone straight or gay, we used to have the war of whether gay, except blah, blah, blah. And now people are like, why do you got to label someone gay just because they slept with people of their own? And I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm at the point. I thought I was being positive. You know what I mean? Good.
Yeah.
I thought I was on the side of it.
I'm forgetting what the percentage is, but the youngest generation, the generation who are like middle school, high school, and early college age right now, are the most, as far as they don't feel the need to choose between straight or gay. They're just open to whatever. They don't feel the need to
But they
label.
had to get that from someone, right? That had to come from someplace.
It had to come from, I guess, the acceptance of it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that would be something that would be like a trend that would change things, but certainly if somebody came up to you with that concept at a young age, if you were never taught straight or gay, you were just a kid, and then you were taught people sometimes fall in love and people have sex. Maybe we would still gravitate to the way we gravitate, and some people just would go back and forth, and it really wouldn't be thought of very much.
Here's Jeff in New Orleans. Jeff.
Hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, pal.
So, hear me out. Right now, you got the NFL draft.
Right.
The NFL draft has a combine where they send these young kids, they grade them on all of their attributes, and then they're forced to go to the team that they're picked by.
Right.
I think it's like our last form of slavery.
Well, the weird thing is, I know that you guys probably don't watch sports, right? No. But if you're a football fan, all the college guys go to this thing called the Combine. And they're forced to, not forced, but they run, they see how you could jump. And then they have guys in their underwear and and it looks.
Yeah, not good.
It looks not good.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that happened.
Yeah.
Every year.
Well, ESPN just got in trouble. They ran a fantasy draft thing where it looked like an old South slavery thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a slavery auction.
Yeah. And there you are, kind of like older white guys, because all white guys own these teams.
Yeah.
And they're bidding on the strongest, fastest, toughest young black man.
Crazy.
And it does. I mean, this is something. Is this the thing?
This was the segment they did. Yeah. Something else playing.
Something else.
It's an ad in the right there.
The NCAA itself is just pretty much slavery.
Well, yeah, especially when you find out that the college kids, they don't even have time to go to college, and they're making millions of dollars for that college, and they're getting paid nothing. Yeah. And then if somebody gives them a free T-shirt, they lose their education. Or if they blow a leg out, they're like, you're dead to me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're no longer useful.
Is this the bet or not?
This is it. This is it.
Next up for auction, we got Antonio Brown. Sold $44 to the man up front, the crazy man, wild man.
Bad luck.
That was the whole thing?
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
How would the whole thing go that fast?
Yeah, but there's going on right there.
Here's more of the auction.
27, 28, you're going to bid on 9, going to be $30. Bid 1, 31, you're going to bid $31. 1, you're going to buy $30. Bid the 1, 2, 2, 3, 34.
No.
Yeah.
Not
no,
yet.
by the way, this was this year.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's not good.
And then here's the other thing of it.
That's so. I mean, look. That is just the definition of just being tone deaf. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they like had an idea and then they're like, and it'll be cool because it'll look like a slave auction. I get it, but it's so fucking tone deaf and crazy that nobody picked up. Like, hey, this is a little reminiscent of something.
Yeah.
By the way, they didn't even have one black person in the audience. It was all white guys.
No, and then just holding the picture of the head up on
Del
it.
Beckham Jr.
No, not good. And then that one white dude's just like,
Turn your radio down, dude. Vito, let Rich know. Here's Aaron. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
Hey, just piggybacking on what you were talking about, giving kids sugar. I think the biggest thing people will look back and think is definitely the way we ate and the food we ate, but more importantly, how we cooked it. And I think they're going to think the microwave was absolutely ridiculous. To think that we were cooking all our food in radiation.
Yeah.
Where a guy, if he has a pacemaker, he's not allowed near a microwave. But everyone else can. That already shows stuff is shooting through, but it heats up my coffee so fast.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I don't use my microwave for much, but I will heat up my coffee.
Yeah.
And a couple mornings ago, I was heating up my coffee and standing there waiting for it. And then I'm just like, microwaves are shooting into my chest right now.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely what's happening.
If you don't put food or anything in a microwave and you just put it on for 30 minutes, it'll fucking explode because the rays aren't getting broken up by water or anything.
Oh, God. Yeah, you don't want to have a microwave on with nothing in there.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's fucking scary as shit.
But they normally turn themselves off, and you know what I mean? Like you have a timer for them for that very reason.
But just that's what's going in your body is that if just the water in there.
I get inside. I have a big microwave, and I sit inside. It makes my back feel loose. Oh, I can spread a little bit. Hey, we got to break and come back and dish, okay? Chris, we're in your way here. I didn't even realize the time. But we'll take a break, and we're going to be right back in Dish. It's Bennington.
Put on your headphones, Jen's got the news. Let's dish to the gossip they're saying on the radio.
Bennington Show, ready to dish. I'll tell you this little dish. I'm going to be at the stand tomorrow night.
That is
I'll
quite
be there
a dish.
tonight, but tomorrow night I'm going to be on stage with Anthony. I don't know whether we tweet that out. Did we tweet that out at all?
We're going to tweet that out.
I don't know what we wait for with the Twitter. Maybe I should take over Twitter. I just always throw stuff like my opinions.
That would be
pictures
great.
of my food. I'll just take a picture of these Tums. Enjoying these Tums today. I don't know why I haven't had a Tum in 3 years, and they put Tums in front of me every day.
I know. I never see you. But it's good to know that it's there, I guess.
But
maybe that's why you don't need it.
Should be a first aid kit. Yeah, so tomorrow night, me and Anthony will be doing a mashup together on stage.
Nice. That's going to be great.
That's right. But they're still pals. And then Pamela Adlon coming up. Go to the iBang to get tickets for that Unmasked. It's going to be Who's Who. But let's dish.
Okay, so the Let's Dish segment is brought to you by Dish. Dish listens when no one else does. Dish tuned into you. To learn more and sign up today, call 1-844-CALL-DISH. Go to dish.com or visit a local retailer near you. So the first dish of the day is Demi Lovato. She was out holding hands around Disneyland with this DJ. Her name is Lauren Abdini.
Her
really
name.
hot.
Oh, her name
is Lauren. People are talking.
Were they canoodling?
They don't say she's canoodling, but I mean, you know, I
Do
guess
they think they're an item?
Yes, they think they're an item because they're
Okay.
holding hands. And for me, I hold hands with like girlfriends all the time. I thought it was a little weird that they're
That really touched me that she pointed to me.
You guys hold hands when you go places?
We have held hands and we've linked arms.
Yeah.
Me and Chris hold hands when we go out to a diner.
So that makes you dating.
Sometimes I just sit on his lap and go like this, feed me, Dada. It's our thing.
Yeah.
We like to play baby talk.
Here's some yummers.
I don't like yummers.
Want some noms?
He makes it, he calls it noms or yummers. And then I just, I need to be pampered sometimes. So the point is, are they dating or is this what no one's business?
Well, she hasn't commented on it, her people, but she did have a song called Cool for the Summer last year, I believe it came out, and it kind of insinuated a girl on girl relationship, and she did say about that there's nothing wrong with sexual exploration, and all of her songs are from personal experiences. So it kind of leads to thinking.
Dabbles.
I would say this, she's a tourist there. I've always liked girls that were cool for the summer. My favorite kind of
I mean,
girl.
I always have a cool summer, you know?
I dated a girl who was tense for the summer. I'm like, I can't wait to get back to school. This is annoying.
So we'll see, if she's.
They look like a cute couple. If they are a couple.
Yeah, I guess.
I know that she was dating a UFC fighter. So I'm not really sure where he was.
Ronda Rousey?
He was on the teacups.
These girls, they also look the same. Like
they do. Yeah.
Sharing the
Well,
same
that's I think what happens.
Yeah. They sync up, as they say about movies.
So pretty, it makes me gay.
I gotta date someone who looks like me. Today I was having an argument with Chris, and then he yelled at me, "Do you date a girl who went to Columbia?" And I had to go, "No." And that made him smarter than me, he said. Oh, so Demi Lovato, she's in the news. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Once again. So, second dish of the day.
Good.
Is Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, Nessa. She's from Hot 97.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a host on Girl Code. Carly, she's like best friends with her.
All right, so she's she's a known entity.
Yeah.
She's a known entity.
So she tweeted to a racist type of tweet about Ray Lewis and the owner Steve Biscotti, and it's like a I want to say side by side, but it's like on top of each other. Like for the first picture is them holding each other from the back. Ray Lewis is like holding Steve from the back, and then the bottom picture is a Django picture of Leo and Samuel L. Jackson.
From Django.
From the movie Django, yeah. So everybody's saying that it was a racist tweet, but the big thing is that Ray and Steve both said that they were talking in the back about Colin coming to play for the Ravens, and then they saw this tweet and they were like, nope, never mind.
Well, first of all, if I'm a fan, right, I don't care that somebody's girlfriend insulted you. Why you just say, get your chick under control.
Yeah.
I don't care if she acted like you were the house Negro from this. You guys are trying to put together a team for us. Just fucking call up Kaepernick and say, can you keep her under control? Best thing would have never even picked up steam. Nobody would have remembered this. No one cares.
And why is the owner of does Ray Lewis have a front office job with?
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know why they were
he is still the face of that franchise. There's no doubt about it. I will tell you this is the way that football fans are. And it's 100% of the time. Adrian Peterson went back to Minnesota. Mm-hmm. He had a Hall of Fame career there. He's gone to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
There's no doubt. Those fans booed him. But when he was still a Viking and he came back after beating a kid with a stick, they cheered him. They cheered him when the kid was taken away because he had welts all over because Adrian beat him with a stick, but put on another uniform and they booed. And plus he would have liked to have stayed a Viking, but they weren't going to pay him.
Yeah, they weren't going to give him the money he wanted.
I mean, his career's over.
Pretty much.
Should be, So I'm just saying this. The fucking fans only care about winning. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing else. They would go, I don't care if our quarterback's a racist. Unless he throws interceptions, then I hate him. And I want him prosecuted for racism. So, now, by the way, why would she do this? Why would Kaepernick's chick do this?
She was mad because Ray, I believe, posted something on his Instagram about, Colin kneeling. It wasn't, against Colin's kneeling.
Why wouldn't you just go, well, at least he didn't kneel in their throat after killing them the way you did, Ray. Ray allegedly killed somebody.
Wow.
Yeah. And he is a saint. He is beloved in Baltimore. Beloved.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming after her for this.
Yeah, well, they always attack the woman with that, but
I mean, it is a nice meme that she came up with, though. I mean, for creativity
It
alone.
never would have even dawned on me.
No.
I would have been that far outside the meme zone.
I mean, like, did she already remember this scene in position? Or did she see that picture and go, there's got to be a moment?
All right, I want to see a picture of her, by the way. What's her name?
Oh, Nessa Diab. Yeah, she's Arabic, I believe.
Ooh, exotic.
Here's Nessa Diab.
Wow.
Hello.
She's attractive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's the Hot Morning 97 morning show?
She's not the morning, she's the midday.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Chris just
afternoon.
zoomed very close in on her teeth.
Yeah, he's a teeth
Yes,
guy.
it's a nice smile.
There you go. His big thing is buck teeth girls.
That's your thing, huh?
That's what I go.
That's great. All right, Colin, doing okay for yourself.
So the next little story that happened today, they're talking about Tyrese and The Rock going after each other. Well, actually more Tyrese going after The Rock on Instagram
shit.
because he didn't answer his messages or
That's how
phone
I
calls.
get.
He wasn't,
That's how I get with people. When I DM you, I expect it right back again.
He was refusing to answer, and I guess he's upset that The Rock is doing a spin-off with I believe his name, I forget the guy from
Jason Statham.
Yeah. He's upset that he's doing a spin-off rather than doing Fast and Furious 9.
Oh, they're not doing Fast and
So
Furious.
they're doing Fast and Furious 9. They have a release date set.
Yes.
Tyrese's issue is that The Rock might put that release date in jeopardy and go film his movie first. And Tyrese is like, how dare you turn on your hashtag fast family?
Well, first of all, Tyrese, most people go and do other movies. They don't just wait around for the Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious isn't real, right?
And he's also got 9 other movies in development at a time, The Rock, so like you could blame any one
You
of
know
those.
what? You're right about that. The Rock says yes to everything
Yeah.
at the same time.
Right.
Like if you ever go to his IMDb page, he's like, yeah, I ain't tried any. Like he shot 2 movies while he was sleeping. He's just like, I got it. He's in a movie where he's in a coma throughout it, but it's just really him at night.
7 figures for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, first Tyrese commented, and then I guess he was like, you know what, I'm not going to talk to you unless you do reply to me, calling or texting me. And then he replied again saying, well, he didn't reply or text me, so I'm back, commenting
God.
again like he's on top of it. Yeah.
All right, now, what is Tyrese known for first?
He was a singer, R&B singer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Model. He was the guy crip
Yeah.
walking in the Defiant ones in the
Oh,
start.
that idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the video.
He cost
Dre.
us so much money when we made that Apple deal. He was out of his mind in that thing. And he had nothing to do with it. He wasn't getting paid at all.
Dr.
just
Dre,
there.
first billionaire in hip hop, baby, Dr. Dre.
Tyrese was a VJ too, wasn't he? Wasn't he a VJ for a short time?
I think, yeah, he's been everything. He's done everything.
We'll do one thing right, Tyree. All right. So I guess because of Vito, we're all picking The Rock. Is that right, Vito? Do we have to
Team
pick
Rock.
The
Pick my friend, please.
I'm on Tyrese's side.
I'm on
By the way,
Tyrese's side.
that's a shot. That came out of nowhere.
Love Tyrese.
Love him.
Now, Vito, what's going on in the house that they've been down by law for the last 2 days?
They're taping the eviction.
So it was last night that they taped it.
Yeah, so they don't want the feedsters to know what's happening after. So they're going to air the eviction tonight as if it were live. And then I guess after that eviction, it'll go back to being live.
Okay.
And then another eviction tomorrow?
Yeah. They did this last year, too.
And then where does the schedule go from here?
Next week is the finale.
Then that's the last show. Like
Yeah,
there's
next
no
Wednesday's the
show
last.
in between Thursday and Wednesday. There's a Sunday
There's
show.
a Sunday
There's a
Okay.
Sunday show.
All right. Let's dish.
I have a little dish about our favorite Kate Hudson.
Ooh.
A lot of mothers and people are mad at her because she came out in a Cosmo issue when they asked her what was like the worst thing she'd ever done, and she said the worst thing she'd ever done was having a C-section. With
Now, why would they
the
be mad at her?
laziest, the laziest thing she's ever done. And yeah, a bunch of moms are saying, why are you saying that C-section is lazy? I've had a C-section. You know, it was the best thing that's ever happened. It's like having a child. So it's kind of crazy to say that a C-section is lazy.
Well, it depends. Like, would she rather had a natural birth? Like, some people have to get a C-section,
right?
And other people don't, or they give up too early into it, or they get talked into it by the doctor because he wants to go home early. But I'm always Team Hudson, 100% of the time.
I think what she's implying is probably that she made the decision ahead of time,
right?
Before, I mean, nobody would say like, oh, if it's a medical emergency, you should still try. I think it's obvious she's saying, I wish I would have tried to stick it out.
Yeah. And why isn't it just an opinion to have?
She wasn't talking about you.
Say anyone has a C-section is a bad person.
Right.
No one is allowed to say anything. All right? I was just talking about this with Tyree. I go, me and you, we're part of the family. Okay?
Fast family.
Fast and furious.
Yeah.
He's fast, I'm furious.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you don't want to mess around with me.
No.
You know, he's fast. So it'll be over quick. But me, pure fury.
Get fucked up.
Yeah.
That sounds better to be furious. Then, it's like exhausting if you're fast.
Oh, yeah. Sure. But you're in a car.
I'll just sit here and be furious about this whole thing.
It's better than being in the Furious. Then everyone's like, parody time, Vito.
Too fat, too furious.
Me and Chris is the franchise.
Ouch.
Anyway, Kate Hudson should push that baby back into her.
And do it right this time.
So this is the last dish of the day.
Wow, that went fast. This was a fast dish day.
I know.
It was quick.
I have agita from it.
Yeah. Here's some Tums. They're sitting in front of me at all times.
This is about our unmasked guest, Pamela Adlon.
Oh, I can't wait. That's next Thursday, 5:00.
Her daughter, Odessa, is dating Jaden Smith.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is big.
Oh, that's exciting.
Part of the royal
That's big
family,
dating.
possibly. The Smiths. They were like on the red carpet, Fashion Week, just like super cute and taking pictures, like, tongue sticking. They're a really cute couple because her daughter has like a wild style, kind of like Jaden.
Yeah.
So it really works.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute together.
They're really cute.
That is like a royal family situation.
Yeah, I won't ask her, but I never ask people about their families. But she brings it up, I'm ready to go. Because I guess the girls are kind of based on her own life. Like I'm writing a show based on Chris and Vito right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's about, and it also has to do with the hurricane.
All right.
It's about two manatees that get stuck.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I call them Chris and Vito.
Chris, what are you upset about? That could be anyone.
I just, okay. Are they like, is it animated or?
Yeah, it's an animated thing.
All right.
But they're based on you guys. And at a certain point, they do a thing just called 69.
I don't like this.
Guess what that is, though?
What is it?
They blow each other under the sea.
I didn't know manatees could be gay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh, God.
What?
That's the most anti-fucking gay thing I've ever heard.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
But all species can be gay.
I had no idea.
You're going to stop them, is what you're saying?
I just said I didn't know.
Love is love, Chris.
That's just Manatee 69, man. Come on.
I don't want a Manatee 69.
It's a Manatee 69. Well, I'm eating this seaweed down at the 5 and dime. Chrissy's here. Vito's got biscuits. Time for Manatee 69. We washed up on the shore.
I like the music to this.
One of the things I need just to record you guys trying to breathe for a while.
Oh no, a lot of wheezing.
That's just me in general.
Now, there's a picture, this is up on the iBang, of that place in the Bahamas that was sucked dry of the water, and it just looks natural again.
Yeah, isn't that
Nothing
so
looks
weird?
different. It looks like the fucking summer of 69.
Nature is just so bizarre. It's just so cruel, and then it just goes on. It's
Nature's
just like,
way of telling you you're a dick. Isn't that crazy? Everything
Wow.
is the same. Everything, Chris, is back to where it was.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank God the manatees are okay.
I'm not going to tell you a word about him.
Oh, no.
You don't want to know.
It's not good.
Is that bad?
One of the characters that I got is Proppy, the propeller, that just is always cutting through him.
God.
Because you ever see manatees, they always get scrapes on them.
Yeah.
It's because propellers have fucking run out. Because they're very slow. If you're driving around on a boat, you just fucking go over them like a fat speed bump.
So people don't see them. They're not like going towards them. It's
Sometimes they see them, sometimes they don't see them.
Yeah.
Manatees are a fucking waste. Did you ever eat one though?
No.
You gotta fry it, man. It's like throwing butter right in a pan.
Sounds delicious.
Oh God, it's good.
Go for some manatee.
Yeah, we have it every Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's it. No turkey, just manatee?
Well, the turkey stuffed
Yeah,
inside
it's
a manatee. It's a turkey in a dolphin in a manatee.
You mean dolphin too?
Yes, Chris. That's why I said that. If you're not going to add stuff,
I'm
you
just
know,
surprised. That I didn't think people ate dolphin.
people eat dolphin. He did think people ate manatee.
That seems fine.
Hey, where are you going for Thanksgiving this year? Costa Rica?
Possibly West Virginia. I'm not sure.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
Figuring that out now.
What is she going to do?
Who's in
Drive
what-
you there again?
I think we'll take a flight.
She has people in West Virginia?
Yeah, she grew up in West Virginia.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's from Costa Rica to West Virginia.
What
to
part
New
of
York.
West Virginia?
Close to Pittsburgh. Like I don't know, like a half
That's
hour outside of
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's like on the border.
Yeah.
It's a border town.
So where you fly into Pittsburgh?
I think flying to Pittsburgh, yeah.
You can go to the Warhol Museum.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Because you know art, don't you, Chris?
Oh, yeah. You know me. I'm a connoisseur, Ron.
Why did you do this like it was food?
I'm a connoisseur of art.
I know that he's
delicious. Delicious art.
I know that he's a fucking art guy because his underwear was done by Jasper Johns. And it was Manatee 69. Oh, yeah.
I would often want to see them suck each other's manatee dicks.
Dude, you're a fucking sexist.
I don't want to see any animals blow each other.
Just make manatee
Yes,
love with me.
because you're fucking anti-gay.
No, I'm anti-bestiality. Or no, that was
They're
just beast fucking.
two together.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
bestiality.
Got How it.
No
else
one's
do they
like, look at those deers having bestiality.
Ew.
They're disgusting.
Could you imagine?
They should be with a human.
Sex with a deer?
These two pigs are making bestiality right out there.
Making bestiality. Like swapping it with love. They made bestiality all night.
I will say this about you, Chris. We found out today you're the most sexist fucking person who's ever lived.
I don't feel I'm very sexist. I mean, it's just the manatee 69ing.
I can see you going, you know what? Don't even stop at West Virginia.
Yeah.
Go out to Wyoming and beat a gay kid to death.
Don't want to do that.
Then why do you bring up the fucking anti-gay stuff?
I didn't feel it was anti-gay. I just thought it was a strange sight to see two.
Oh,
that's all.
That's what people fucking say when they're gay.
What
bashers.
year is this, Chris?
It's 2017, isn't it?
I believe so.
Okay.
He wasn't
It
sure.
scared me. I thought I went back in time. I was going to start betting on sports events.
That would make a great movie.
Yeah. Just the sports book that I bring back. Oh, no. I got news for you right now. I don't fucking even trust that movie. Why everybody else loves it so much. I thought Teen Wolf was a better film.
Definitely. It's way better.
It's a lot cooler.
Has anybody seen the Teen Wolf TV show that's on now?
No.
The MTV one?
Yeah, I think they
saw a
make it
couple
more woofy, right? And
It's
like
great. Yeah, I like it.
It's like scarier.
Yeah, it's not as silly.
I mean, yeah, I never saw like the original.
Does anyone take their dick out at a pep rally?
No, nobody takes their dick out.
Best scene in Teen Wolf.
What's that thing? Say coming soon, what?
The Disaster Artist.
What's that mean?
That is the movie that James Franco and Dave Franco and Seth Rogen made about Tommy Wiseau, the dude who made that cult movie, The Room.
Is that why you put that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't wait for that.
It looks very funny.
In what way? You know, I never saw The Room.
I haven't either. I've only seen parts of it, like on YouTube, but I've never actually seen The Room.
Yeah, I've only seen like people are like, you got to see clips. I'm like, it looks like a bad movie.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really long. And it's really only for if you're in the mood to sit around with friends and
You're on
laugh
drugs.
and have fun.
You're on drugs.
You don't have to be.
And yet, no one's ever done it without being on drugs.
But they bought, I think, the rights to the movie, and they got the sign off from Tommy Wiseau to actually make the making of the disaster.
Well, it's based on the book, I believe, from the making of the movie.
I didn't know there was a book.
Thank you, Vito.
I didn't know there was a book.
Chris, if you don't know what you're talking about, let your manatee fucking lover tell everybody.
Not my manatee lover. Come on, we're not 69ing each other.
Yeah, we're going to.
No, we're not.
Thanks for not being anti-gay, Vito.
I'm fine with anything. I'm fluid.
Appreciate
See, that's the thing with the younger millennials.
Yeah.
Him, an elderly millennial manatee.
You know what?
I'm a Generation
Let's
Y
just
manatee.
fucking push Chris right in the baby boomers the way that he thinks. Why don't you lynch your fucking manatee, you fucking disgusting racist sexist?
I have no problems with manatees. It's
You
just
know
the
what? If this
69.
was a sane country, we'd beat you to death with a hatchet.
For what you've said.
Everyone just coming in with hatchet after hatchet. After
Jesus.
Everyone take a swing.
Chris, what video was I watching the other day? It was like looked like it was European metal, but there was these skinny fucking bald alt-right guys all dancing around it. There was just more and more and more.
I'm not sure.
This video is something of nightmares. If anybody knows what I'm talking about.
Is it a video where like they're almost like circling or
Yes,
something?
yes.
I've seen this once before.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It stayed with me though.
But it's like a music video or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
And it's very alt-right.
Yes.
And I can't explain it, but it's so surreal, Chris. It's like really, really creepy,
It's the
but I have no
nuttiest
idea.
thing ever. Yeah. It has stayed in my mind. And it's weird that you saw it too.
Yeah.
It's metal. It's like it's metal.
Kind of metalish,
It's
kind
rough.
of hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's stupid is something that you would listen to, you and your fucking high society friends. Did you move into your new studios yet?
Not yet. Not. I believe in a couple of weeks. I was told a few weeks is when they'll be fully built out.
I told Don you might as well go there full time.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you say that?
Because it seems like that's where your head is right now.
My head is here. Sirius XM.
That's
yeah.
where you're like, oh, our new studios. We're so excited about them.
I just thought you'd want to hear about it.
Louis J. Gomez is really looking into it.
Well, the rattlesnake said this the other day.
That's your source.
I'm not finding this video. I want to see it.
The rattlesnake asked me if I ever want to come back and judge his, what do they call that? The roast battles?
The battle, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's the thing is, there's always like 8 people. You know what I mean? There's more people judging. I have to leave my house and stuff. And he goes, the ones you do are always the best. And I go, I know you're lying. I know that's just
It's a
something
way to
you
get me
say.
in.
I love. All right, somebody knows this, Vito.
Yes.
Put the first caller up.
Line 1.
Line 1. And Vito, run over here and hit line 1 for me. Mike, what's up?
Yeah, the song you're talking about, actually, Opie used to play it on his show. It's called Witch Doctor.
Now, so this
I'm not sure the band who sings that.
this video is not new, then, right?
I'm not sure. I think it's been there a couple years, but they
It's
heard
weird
it.
that
They
why would
loved
me and Gail, it must have been on something.
Yeah.
That me and Gail see it the same week. All right, if you are correct, did you find it, Chris?
I'm not finding a music video. Oh, is the band Witch Doctor? Is this it?
I think
Yes,
the name
that's
of the
it, Chris.
song is Witch Doctor.
I'm going to send you into the pretty good prize closet, Mike.
Yeah.
I turn up the sound, Chris.
It's not about the numbers, what you feel is real. Crystals, razor like to taste of Holy shit. Open the mind.
All right, what do you got on all the time, dude?
There's like a voice somewhere in there.
In this thing?
I don't know where that was.
Is that disgusting?
Ew, it's so
Fucked up.
it's so gross and creepy.
I know.
And then Chris thought it was real.
It looked real at first.
Nah, Chris, you thought it was real.
Looks like you're the witch doctor.
He's the fucking bitch proctor.
Might as well suck
You have
off
to
a
proctor
manatee.
your test like a bitch.
Listen to Chris. He's saying sucking off a manatee is like, that's the most disgusting thing.
Oh
you can
my
do.
God.
Instead of as a manatee living the way that you and the other manatees
Living
live
the truth.
Vito, thanks for being a good person.
I just wish he'd join us. The manatee people.
No.
The manatee people. The manatee people.
No.
I know one thing, Chris. You're not getting kelp like the other manatees.
That sucks.
Witch doctor. I despise the song.
It's
the
pretty
song
annoying.
is fucking hideous.
It's like new metal.
What are we talking about before Yummy gets here? Anything on your mind?
Well, Alex Jones said that he thinks Donald Trump is being drugged, and that's why he's acting strangely.
Well, what even makes him say that he's acting strangely? Because he did the deal with the Democrats?
Yeah, and so this is Alex Jones' quote. It's known that most presidents end up getting drugged. Trump's such a bull, he hasn't fully understood it yet. But I've talked to people, multiple ones, and they believe that they are putting a slow sedative that they're building up that's also addictive in his Diet Cokes and in his iced tea, and that the president, by 6 or 7 at night, is basically slurring his words and is drugged. Now, first they had to isolate him to do that. So notice, oh, he's mentally ill. Oh, he's got Alzheimer's. The president's about 2 months into being covertly drugged. Now, I'm risking my life, by the way, to tell you all this.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you for your service.
I'm risking my life by saying it.
I was physically sick before I went on the air because I'm smart.
He threw up and said, no, even though you're scared, you've got to go in and say this. So what is the reason for drugging the president?
To make him more controlled and to be able to feed him information and make him a puppet. Now,
He's
did they
the least controlled person in the history of the planet?
Now, when he says bull, does he mean bull is an opposite of cuck?
I think.
Is that the term, or just like a bullish person?
I think bull in the opposite term of cuck and just as a strong person. Just a...
Because he cucks out Jared.
Yeah.
Right.
Witch doctor! That's what it's going to be like in another 2 years at the White House.
Oh, God.
It's a bunch of fucking dudes with their shirts off going crazy.
At first, when I saw it, I was like, well, this is the worst Spencer Tunick photograph ever.
So, what's the story with Justin? Anybody know? Is he
I don't
down
know.
by law?
Yeah, what is the deal?
Justin, intern Justin?
Oh, never mind, Vito. You know what? You're better when you're in a manatee suit fucking playing your part. Witch doctor!
By the way, that was a pretty solid Alex Jones you just did. I was very jealous of it.
Oh.
You started to do Alex Jones's voice.
I could never. Fucking Anthony does him perfectly. You'll be able to see that tomorrow night if you come down to the stand, me and Anthony together. I'll get to the bottom of everything.
Go to thestandnyc.com for tickets.
Do we ever put up a link to that, or you refuse?
We're going to put a link up to it.
I'm taking over social media starting tomorrow. Tonight, I'm just going to take a little time for myself.
Start fresh in the morning. You know, you don't want to start halfway through
Tonight, I
the
might
day.
go out, just have some pizza. Not wait tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll wait a little more, and then I can get into my social media and lose. I'm going to be on fucking social media 24 hours a day. That'll be my only thing. Every day I'll wake up with, what's up, readers?
Readers.
No, you don't call them readers?
I don't think so.
What do you call them?
Followers?
Followers.
Hey, followers, ready to follow me? By the way, I follow 0 people. I'm going to try to get 1 million people with having, and then I follow 0. And I don't care if they fucking hate me or love me, as long as they follow. You know?
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You don't see anyone else's news feed.
I just want to get up and go like this. Hey, Wyoming shouldn't even be a state.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just fire people up. Troll them.
Bennington Twitter's at it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that not only do I think that you should cut the end of a little boy's dick off, but we should take his toes off the same day. There's a bris I could get behind. Toeless Press. Follow me if you want to hear more of this shock shit.
Oh, I'm going to follow this.
You're going to find yourself in dish with that kind of tweeting.
Good, because I'm going on Instagram with it and Snapchat. I'm going to invent a new app where you could reach for the phone and choke the other person.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. Hello, chokers.
You just have to put like a choke emoji in, and then it does it for you. Just like the way you can order pizza now with an
All right, what
emoji.
about this? What about this idea, right? It's a fleshlight, right?
All right.
But the other... All right, he
What
says.
a dork.
You're a fucking disgusing
Manatee.
alt-right prick.
He's an alt-right manatee.
And then the other person gets a joystick and they get to move the flashlight back and forth. So if you're away from your chick,
right,
she can sit with a joystick and jack you off in your hotel room.
Right. You know, that's interesting because I think that there is a vibrator that the gentleman can control, or lady can control while it is being used on a lady in another place. So this is like that same concept, but
Beauty.
now you control the fleshlight.
Yeah, girls and gays, now you're in charge.
For once.
For once. And by the way, this is the same price as the new iPhone, $1,000. Because my feeling is, if I can sell 10 million of them at $1,000, I'll be in some good fucking financial shape.
Nice.
I'll have $10,000 million.
One of the new features of the iPhone is like emojis, like they become animated. So like you can talk as an emoji. So that's one of the new features also. That's one of the big...
Wait, so the emoji's mouth is moving with your voice in it?
Yeah. Like the poop emoji, you could talk as the poop emoji.
It copies like 50 different facial recognition features.
Oh, wait, so it's going
without yourself
off of your face
Yes.
while you're FaceTiming it.
Well, won't that only be good for like Snapchat?
I think you could record it and text it to people too.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey, mother, this bull is mad at you." Witch doctor.
Is that real? Are those real people?
It looked real at first.
You fuck. Seriously.
They got
you
me, all right?
fucking freak.
CGI these days, you know?
He says about everything. Is that real? He said when we were watching the Flintstones. He goes like this. Is that like Jurassic Park?
How'd they get those dinosaurs?
You're the fucking witch doctor. This whole thing, dude. Let me go over here to Kevin. Kevin, what's up, buddy?
Not another beautiful day in paradise.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Yes, it is. Well, listen, I think that you really need to start your social media off on an AOL chat room. Millions of people are on there.
I'm still part of the AOL chat thing. I go there every night. I've been made a moderator, not to toot my own horn.
That's
but I can
big.
kick your butt right out of here.
Oh, he was doing so good with that.
Witch doctor! We need to break here, Christopher.
Yes, we do.
Is our guest here?
Yes, she is.
Well, let's plug her because we love her.
Yamanika Saunders is here. Yamanika's Comedy Central half-hour premieres this Friday, September 15th at midnight. That is exciting.
After midnight, we're going to watch Yamanika. Everybody loves her. Everybody loves Yamanika.
She's great.
So let's break back. And you'll hear a little something about FanDuel in a second.
Bennington, noon to 3. Then shut her down. Actually, you can check out some other shows. It's not a big deal.
Bennington is back, and we've got Yamanika Saunders with us. Yay! Yamanika's Comedy Central half-hour premieres this Friday, September.
Yes,
September
this Friday.
15th at 12 12:30.
Yes, and it's the Friday going into Saturday. You listen, Ron. You have no idea how confused I was about when this shit was coming on.
Right,
because it's like, is it because of the 12:30 thing, and it's like television does extend to like 1 or 2 o'clock. Their day changes.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it Thursday? Is it Friday? Like, no, it's Friday going into Saturday.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
So you're excited about this because you felt really good when you did this.
Yes, I'm really super excited, and I'm excited because it's more autobiographical, this material, right? So it's a lot about like my grandmother and my religious upbringing and me dealing with becoming a woman and sex. And I talk about being a bridesmaid and all that jazz. So I'm super excited.
I am very, very happy for you because you deserve this. You're crushing it in the clubs night after night.
Thank you.
After night. It's time. Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Aberdeen, Maryland. I was born in Baltimore. And I grew up in Aberdeen, Maryland. It was very rural. And
that's where they shoot off the they shoot off
the Aberdeen
those bombs.
Proving Ground. Yeah. And you know what we lived so close to the Proving Ground, like it's literally behind us, that we could go on base and go to the PX. Like we had a special residence car.
Oh, they let you go into the PX, even though you weren't military.
Nope,
that's great.
Yeah,
cool. My parents have always had a summer place on the other side of that, Crystal Beach, Maryland, so you can take a boat across. Turkey Point is in between Crystal Beach and Aberdeen.
Yes. We had, my grandparents had a summer home and at not Elliott. I can't think of it. It was called Indian Acres.
Yes.
And Indian Acres?
Yes.
I couldn't, for the life of me, we never, as a kid, never understood the directions on how to get there. It was always like, turn at the cornfield and then pick another, and it was like in the middle of nowhere.
Right, and there was just like they were selling lots.
Yes, we had a lot.
We had close to them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were close to each other. We didn't even know it.
Well, it was enough that the Aberdeen, when those things, when I was a little kid, would explode, our windows would shake sometimes in the summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is so you're going to get into a bunch of that stuff.
I don't get that deep. Nobody wants to hear about Maryland. Nobody cares about that. Like,
well, they kind of do like Baltimore, though, right? Since The Wire.
That that was the other thing, because as soon as I say Maryland and I'm brown, people go, "Oh, you from Baltimore," and so I would claim that just for street cred,
right?
Because I had I'm it's not a typical story that I'm a black person that grew up in the suburbs, but I was always trying to be like, "Yo, I'm hard." Yeah. So I'd be like talking all rough and stuff like that. And they'd be like, where you live? I'm like, Aberdeen. So
you do have like a city vibe about you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandparents had a church in the city, and my mother DJ'd. My mother used to DJ on Aberdeen Proving Ground for the Officers Club.
Wow.
And, so I've had a really eclectic life, so I mimic well. So anytime we'd be in Baltimore, I would like watch the girls and how they moved and all that. And then I'd go back to Aberdeen and be like, what's up? Cause I went to parochial school in Dublin, Maryland. I went to this school called Hartford Christian, and, I just was constantly selling wolf tickets and like, yo, you don't even know, cause I done seen dead bodies on the street, and it's like, they're like, oh my God, she's so great.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm like, I go home and I'm the most boring kid. I'm like, I'm watching Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
And coloring. And I'm like, nah, man, I've been out there in the streets. We killing, we doing this.
But isn't it funny though, like kids will have two existences, the way they are at home and then the way they are with their friends.
I bet that's so weird for parents the first time they ever catch their kid just being someone else. And you're just like, not my sweet baby.
Well, my parents had to hear it from teachers, and they're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Not my baby.
Yeah.
No.
They didn't get that at all. But I think kids know to do that. Well, your thing too, and to me, this is always street smarts, when you can fit in wherever you go, right? And the fact that a lot of people think street smarts is about being tough, but it's about being able to move in and out, whether it's camouflage, whether it's fight or flight. Do whatever you need to do to survive.
It's only tough when it works for you, but if it doesn't serve you,
when you're fighting someone weak. I'd fight anyone weak. That doesn't bother me. But a bigger guy, I'm like, how can I make this guy laugh? How can I make him?
Yeah.
Oh no! All right, then I'll jump a fence to get out of here. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But is it always funny too when something like this comes together? When you have something like you've done, this is your life that you're putting out there.
It is,
for people.
and I have to warn people because my dad takes a big beating in my act, and I always have to be conscious. Like when I'm doing something on television, I'm like, don't use him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I love my dad, but my dad is the irresponsible one in the relationship between my mother and my father. My mother has got her stuff together. My dad's like, he handsome guy, and player, player. And I constantly date guys like my father. I think because I always want to get the upper hand. Like I want to date my dad and then leave him.
Yeah.
but because my dad is thorough and the guys that are like my dad are thorough, they always like leave me. I'm like, damn, I got by my dad again. I got by my dad. I hate him.
Yeah.
No, I love my dad. I remember they had this show where they were telling people like, you want to marry my father? Remember that show, like, you want to marry my dad and these girls will hook up with that? And I was like, who wants to marry my dad? He's a postal worker that, like, not that the bad thing he's a postal worker, but the bad thing that he works. My dad is, if he has to focus on working and you, girl, you're going to lose.
Really?
Yeah. Always. Shout out to my dad.
Yeah, so there's just something about him, though, right? That is irresistible for women.
Yeah, he was very handsome. I mean, my mom was beautiful, and I don't know why I'm talking about them in the past tense, other than the fact that my father now, when you get older as a dude, you can't keep that lock on.
Yeah.
You understand? He was fine, and then all of a sudden, I look up one day, and I'm like, oh my God, where are your teeth? Just gone.
Just gone.
And we had to Photoshop him in for my sister's wedding. I was like, I can't. And then they're like my half sister. So I'm like, I don't really need to be in this picture because like we just share a dad. So go in there and be with him looking raggedy while I just take the picture.
Whose teeth did you use in the Photoshop?
Oh, I don't know. They probably went on Google and said, let's find some teeth.
You had your dad was quite the character too, right?
Oh yeah, he got fucked up, and he never held a job for fucking however long, and until the day he died, like he just no job, just hustling randomly, and just and even as a kid, I knew he didn't work. I knew something was off, but I just didn't know what.
How young when you're like, oh my kind of growing up is different.
Probably middle school. It probably finally fucking dawned on me that he didn't go to work every day, and that
just comparing them to other dads.
Yeah, other dads. Yeah, this is different. This is different from this kid's house that I'm at right now.
Here's Sean in Maryland. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Ron, I think Yamanika is thinking of Elkton, Maryland. Is that where Indian Acres is?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And she went to Hartford Christian School. I drive by there every day. I'm like 2 miles from it. That's so crazy.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah, I love Harvard. My grandmother found that school. It was in the middle of nowhere.
Really?
And she was going on a shopping spree. That's why I'm going to this school, because my grandmother had a shopping itch and saw a school.
Well, here's my question. Where was she shopping out there? Because that's in the country. Was she getting corn or something?
Probably. My grandmother's a Southern girl. No, she liked to find, you ever heard of Cowtown?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the type of stuff my grandmother does. Goes in the middle of nowhere, hopes that there's a shop there, and then tells us all we've got to find this place again. It's like Lord of the Rings with a credit card.
Very funny. Hey, and don't not give yourself credit for being a little hard, because there are some areas in like Elkton or Aberdeen that are a little rough.
Elkton now has a heroin problem, which they didn't used to.
But see, when I was there, it wasn't bad. I don't want to date myself, but let's just say I watched 227 and I had my period at the same time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Ronnie, you were talking about the heroin problem. I think I saw on a sign, because I drive truck, but I saw a sign in Delaware that said their heroin overdoses is higher than the traffic fatalities.
Yes, that's happened across the country now. More people die from heroin overdoses. And we're going to take this seriously now because now it's white people. So we have to do something about this.
People are dying.
All through the 70s, they're like, hey, they like their heroin. But now once the white kids start dying, you're like, we got to fix this heroin thing.
But nothing was weirder when I realized ads that I kept seeing in the subway, and it was just like, it was like a picture of someone. She's like, I saved my neighbor because blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't really paying attention to them. And then one day I realized it was about the people who carry the drug that helps you if you're having an opiate, like
it's called
overdose.
Narco something, right?
Narconin.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I saw this. Everybody who works for the city of Philadelphia, they want them to have this. Librarians, because a lot of people in Philly will shoot heroin outside of the library. It's very peaceful. There's a nice park there. So librarians have to run out and spray this stuff in their throat to try to save them.
Narcan.
Yeah. So I just, for some reason, I thought that this was people like who knew CPR. I didn't really realize. But then when I realized what it was I saved my boyfriend, I saved my neighbor, I saved my friend because I had this spray on me and was able to administer it.
Save 20% on Geico. What they need to do, what they should do is, give them a pharmaceutical school class, right?
Right.
Because they're overdosing. So it's like, go ahead and use your heroin, but pull back a little.
Yeah. Everybody carry their own Narcan. You know what I mean? Like, don't leave it up to me to have your Narcan.
Right.
You're the one that needs to come back a little bit.
Knowledge is going to be your Narcan.
Well, the thing about heroin, it is very tricky to know how much to do. It's a little and a lot is very close together.
Yeah.
And particularly because you don't have an FDA keeping an eye on it. So somebody could be getting much more powerful heroin or dirtier heroin than they did the last time. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, it's very hard to keep up as a junkie. It's very difficult.
It's tiring.
Just get it from your librarian. I mean, she's got it.
But the junkies also, the weird thing about it is they never have any time to themselves. It's always, I gotta be somewhere. The other guy is late. No junkies ever say, my dealer always shows up on time. They're always looking down the road, every car. Yeah.
He's so punctual.
Yeah.
But that's why I tip him.
Could you believe in this country now more overdoses than car accidents?
It's really, really weird.
Yeah. I think it's the number one cause of death, like more than car accidents. That's it.
That's what we were just talking about for
That's what he said.
Now you're going to come in with the same fact?
This just in.
Right.
Hold on, guys.
Chris, why don't you just plug? If you're going to say crazy,
I'm talking
we
crazy.
love you. I mean, we want this thing to blow up.
Yamanika Saunders is in studio. Yamanika's Comedy Central half hour premieres this Friday, going into Saturday at 12:30 a.m. And on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Yamanika.
Yes,
and
thank you.
What got you into stand up? What was the thing?
My mom got me into stand-up. It was all by accident. I had moved to Los Angeles when I was 15 and a half, and I went to the LA County High School for the Arts, and I studied theater because I had to get away from Harvard. Christian, I was going crazy. And I studied theater. My mom started taking stand-up classes with Judy Carter and then moved over to Sandy Shore taking class. And she was like, I think you should take stand-up. You're doing the acting thing. And I'm like, I'm a legitimate actress. I'm not taking clown school. And then they offered it as, you had to graduate. You got your high school diploma plus a theater degree, but you had to have like an interdisciplinary thing. So I was studying theater management at the time. They came in with stand-up. And I told my mom, I said, okay, listen, I'm going to audition for this thing, get in and never go. And then I auditioned, got in by the skin of my teeth. And I'm super competitive. So I was like, I got to master this thing. And then I got hooked. So I started stand up at 16.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
I always say this about when anybody asks you, I go, she may be the most confident person I've ever seen on stage. Now, do you always feel that confident or you fake it?
No, it's not even faking. Sometimes you ever been on stage and like you look down at yourself and you're like, girl, don't say that. Don't do that. I mean, you wouldn't say girl, but you know what I mean? You'd be like,
no, I call myself girl.
But you're like, don't say, and I'm constantly on the edge of my seat when I'm doing stand up. But I got booed on Showtime at the Apollo. I think it's been like 10 years now, and they booed me within an inch of my life. and I died. Like, I died on stage. I went off the wrong way. They made me go back. They booed me then. I went through the audience. They booed me. I got on the train to go home. They booed me on the train because there were people in the audience on the train. I died, and I was like, I'll never do this again because it was like they hate me, and it hurts to have people hate you because these are my words. This is what I'm saying. How could they hate me? I'm so sweet. I'm so nice. And then, like, you know, a week later, I was like, I did a show out in Bay Ridge, and let me tell you something. A stupid bitch will always make you rise like a phoenix. I had to rise like a phoenix on this stupid bitch. She said something trying to heckle me, and I had already died because there's nothing like 3,000 black people booing you, and you're not like, I wasn't a Nazi. I was one of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? So she said something, I tore her down, and then people were like, they liked it. I was being I wasn't hiding my feeling about. Before, I would always try to make people think like I would be nice because my grandma was like, be nice, you know the Lord, don't be nasty. So I would always like have something in my head, but I would say the nice thing. And this was the first time with this woman when I was like, what I really feel about her, I'm saying it to her. And I let the guard down, and then I realized, yeah, I'm gonna say what I want. And it was a turning point. And now I just say what I want. And like, either you're on board or you're not. I'm older too, so it doesn't matter. I don't have to have everyone. I'm not one of those people who's like, everybody in the audience has to like me. I may not be your cup of tea, but I'm going to be somebody's cup of tea, and that's the person I need to jam with.
And then sometimes you'll even get a thought in your head and you just go away from your material. I've seen like something come up and see you just go off, and I'm like, man, that's a very confident fucking, you know, she's just like, oh, I had this thought, I want to share it with you. And then she goes, all right, now let me get back to what I was talking about
That's
before.
great.
And I'll be just like cracking up because it's very unusual for anyone to, you know, a lot of people, they go down, they measure every word. You watch them, they've measured their pauses, they've measured everything that they have. And she's just it's a spitfire.
Yeah, if it comes in my mind, I'm going to say it. And I'm not, you know, the result for us is laughter, but that's not the overall thing for me. I want to have a connection. I want this time when I'm on stage for me to say what's really on my mind and connect with people who also feel the same way. So it's sort of like a little meetup group sometimes when I get on stage, you know? Who likes me? Who gets it? Who gets this?
So do you write on stage a lot then? Is that like the majority of,
I do. I write a lot on stage. I write a lot in life. Like, in terms of like, I mean, we all write, right? But like, I'm like, let me take the bus and I just want to ride the bus for a while for no reason. And then whoever I experience, I'm like open to them. So if somebody sits down next to me and is crazy and starts talking to me, I just talk to them. I say yes to everything that happens in my life because I know that I may have to talk about it later.
Wow. So you're just looking for experiences.
Always. And when people are like, let me get away from that, I'm like, let me go over here.
That's awesome.
But people also saying that about me when they see me sometimes because I'm very much like my grandmother where I'll just talk to you. So I'm sure people are like, oh, don't go over there by that girl. She's too friendly.
Now, see, here's the fun thing. I think most of us are so addicted to comfort now, right? That anyone feels like if anything is uncomfortable, it's the worst thing ever. But you go out and look for uncomfortable socially.
Yeah. I look for it, and like I said, sometimes I'm just in something, and it's not until I'm out of it where I go, girl, why you do that?
Yeah.
The other day I'm running through the airport, literally, I think it's, is it Immigrant Airline? Is it called
Immigrant?
Immigrant, yeah.
And I think that was the airline. I was checking in at Virgin, and they're literally next to each other.
Yeah.
And this lady's rushing through the airport, and she says to the guy that's immigrant, she says, do you know where Virgin Air America is? And he goes, no clue. And it's like next door. But then I'm so busy like living life and I'm rushing to work. I said, no clue. It's right there, motherfucker. Like, look right there. I said, how dare he tell you? I said, he's just being so now I'm this person that's like made this situation that could have been like, go away. I made it a next step. You know, it's like, I was, about a month ago, I love playing GTA. I'm a huge GTA fan. Like, I love it. So I got an opportunity to go to Rockstar and play and do their streaming and all that. I'm on the train, which I was already didn't want to be on the B train, but I got on the B train because the Uber canceled and all this stuff. So I was like, I gotta get there. I had these braids, like I had just got these lemonade braids that Beyonce has but they were purple, and I was all jazzed up with my leather. Like I'm in my 30s, but I dress like I'm 12 years old, and I just, saw a New Edition for the first time. Like I'm trying to be too jazzy. And so I get on the train, and there's 2 hood rats and a baby hood rat on the train, right? So now I'm standing up, and I see a little seat next to them. So then I move over to this little seat, and then this old lady gets on the train. She's like Harriet Tubman, like old. There's a slither of space for her to be in the seat. They don't even move. And then Harriet's like, can you like move over? Cause I freed the slaves, so they're like, whatever, whatever. And I'm like so pissed at them. Cause I'm like, move over. This lady needs a seat, like whatever. So I go, you know what, ma'am? I'm sorry. I said, you know what? Sit in my seat. And I'm like giving them the eye and whatever, and they sucking their teeth at me and a little whatever. And first of all, I'm like, why are they even on the train? Because this is not even hood rat hours. You know what I mean? Like, this is during the day. Like, hood rat is like, what, from 4 a.m. to maybe 6 a.m. So even the baby, I'm like, what's he doing? Getting WIC checks? I have no idea. So they get up. One of the hood rats separates herself from the other hood rats and gets off. So I go sit in the seat that Harriet Tubman tried to sit in. And I mean, I sat all over in that seat, elbows and really got cushiony. And then the little hood rat goes, no, you didn't. Yo, fat ass, you trying to sit. I said, bitch, let me tell you something, okay? You should have got up for that lady. I said, you know what? You're exactly why black women get a bad rap, because every time some shit goes down, they go find a little knucklehead like you, little hood rat. And then you all up in the cameras don't have shit to say that's positive, okay? And she said, how you gonna call me a hood rat when you sit there with them purple braids? And I said, you know what? Touche. And I shut my mouth. Guess what? I had purple braids. There was nothing I could say. I look like the mama hood rat.
Yamanika Saunders is in studio. Yamanika's Comedy Central half hour premieres this Friday, September 15th, 12:30 a.m. on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Yamanika.
I can't wait for this. Really,
I know. I'm so
happy for you,
excited.
too.
I am too. I'm a little shy and nervous about it because, like, I'm gonna be at a viewing party and I don't want to see myself.
Is that right?
I don't want to see. I saw a good angle. Number one, I need a stronger spank next time. I have this cat suit on that's like, mama's giving a lot of thigh and legs, but mama's giving a lot of belly. And I can already see the ugly trolls like, what's she doing in that? Don't worry about what I'm doing in that cat suit. I'm in it. Okay? Because I have cats. I'm a cat mom. I can be in a damn cat suit.
But you love wearing that kind of stuff, right? That's your...
I do. I love being, I think for a long time, I was not confident in myself. Not even just being a big girl, but just like I grew up Christian and it was like, well, hide your body, hide your breasts. Don't have men looking at you. And now I'm just like, I like my body. And I like, that they have sexy clothes now for big girls. And I can be like, va, 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 voom. Listen, I am a sexy girl. If you are a single man listening, all you got to do is lift up my gut and just find the treasure. It's there. It's there. That's why I was saying, like, when Donald Trump was like, he's touching women in the vagina, I was like, please, I dare you to try to find mine. Okay? Come and get it. You're going to have to bring your boys, okay?
Yeah. Vito, you sent in that story this week to the Interbound about the, I guess it was Fashion Week, and this was all about the vagina. Did you see this, Gail?
No, I didn't see it.
Chris, go and find it. This fashion, I don't know who did it. Do you know, Vito, who was the...
I forget.
It
Off
was
the
one of the
top
big
of my
names,
head,
though,
yeah.
right?
But it was fashion with just vaginas all over the clothing and incorporated into the designs during New York
I'm in.
Fashion Week.
I'm already in.
Now, here, could you put it up on here so we can see it, too, Chris? But do they ever sell the clothes that they do on runway shows? 'Cause
Yeah,
I never walked down the street seeing anyone dressed this way.
Very rare, because I think most of it is kind of meant for over the top.
It is over the top. They
It's
always
art.
have the over top people, but the celebrities do. Now the celebrities will buy the outfits and they'll make alterations to it, so
Right.
it may not look like the
And
way
then
it came on the runway.
Right, and then you'll see it on the red carpet. I mean, usually it's still going to be for big event type
Who
thing.
is that? The dress?
That's the dress. Those
First
are
of
all
all,
vaginas.
Kegels. Okay, why are the vaginas so? As a giving birth?
You know, that's
they're
right.
very
That's a
agape.
giant vagina.
That's a huge.
Yeah, they're
vagina.
yawning.
And is she also a vagina? I don't know. Why is it so?
One of those is her vaginas.
Right, right. You have to guess which one.
Yeah. What's this? I don't even understand this, Chris.
This is just like a
Is that
weird bra.
purse on her breast?
I like that her ass is out.
Yeah.
The one woman's on the phone. She doesn't care. Now I would wear that dress right there with the buns out.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a whole vagina line.
there's
I'm
the
not
vagina here too.
Vaginas.
And I do feel like you could put your cell phone in one of those vaginas. It does
But
look
that
like
is
it's good.
fun.
You don't need a purse.
Definitely, but you can't walk into Chick-fil-A with that on. They will send you out. Do you understand? You cannot do it.
You know, I'm very interested in the thong-like thing because it's a wide thong. Like normally it's a skinny, but this is actually separating the cheek quite a bit.
But then it also goes up top, so you
Right.
get that space, but there.
But that's what my thongs look like when I put my panties on at 9 o'clock. By 9:02, it's in my ass. So
Right.
that's just digging for gold.
It's like thong suspenders.
Yeah. All right,
So these
now,
are the
notice
sleeves.
this, there are also vaginas in the eyes.
Oh.
These are glasses that look like vaginas.
Is this a guy that did this? Because
Yeah.
sometimes gay guys get obsessed with
They do.
the vaginas, and it's like,
They
dude,
do.
I don't want to. I'm not wearing my pussy on a sleeve. So,
Vito, did you find the name of the designer?
Is that Yoko Ono?
Your mic is not on, Vito.
It's Namalia by Nan Lee and Amelia.
This might be her.
Yeah.
That might be Don Lee.
You know what it is? Listen, can I just say this? I get so tired of the this is why I shop at Kmart and Walmart a lot of the times, just get my clothes and just put. This is too much. Like, and I understand, like, because I think sometimes it's like, well, we're feminists and we're women and we want people to the vagina and respect it. People are respecting the vagina. We are giving birth. You don't have to keep with the woman knitting out of her vagina and all this other stuff, and the lady, she's like, I'm gonna bleed in the forest for 40 days for Greenpeace. It's like, just stop.
I saw something. Look this up, Chris. This is at Fashion Week. One of the models lost her shoe.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the Gigi Hadid girl, right?
Yeah, and this was like the most amazing thing that I ever saw. It was on TMZ last night. You got it, Chris?
I have it's coming up now.
Who is it?
Gigi Hadid.
Okay, you got it.
She's got feet like a Barbie. You know when Barbie had that little arch and you just could pop?
So, Gail, she's walking out, and as she's making her way to the runway, the shoe falls off. How long is this? Chris,
This is a really long Shantex commercial.
Ridiculously long.
What is Shantex? Because I'm seeing him and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be on it.
Stop smoking.
Helps you quit
Well,
smoking.
he's 70. He can keep smoking.
You're
I
right.
mean, like, who's
That's a good
quitting?
point.
I'm just gonna smoke.
Once you hit a certain age,
I think he
enjoy
beat it.
Yeah.
I think he beat the odds. He's one of the blessings. He's one of the
He
blessings.
did, and he up there baking and
Look, now he can bake without having to take a smoke break.
I hate commercials like this. It's like I don't need the story. What is this, a soap opera? I mean, I'm too
Makes me
involved
mad
in
when the
this
ad
life.
is longer than like the 10-second video
It
you're
is a
about
10-second video.
Yeah, that's so shitty.
Because I saw it on TMZ.
And zero copays. Thank you.
All right, now there she is.
Yes.
Now she's walking out, and there's the shoe. Jesus, Chris, what the hell is this?
It's examples of her walking. She's a
See,
cute
she
girl.
normally has.
Now, there she is. Why aren't this isn't the video? TMZ had the video last night, but she had this very high heel. You would not know that she lost her fucking shoe.
I'm very impressed with her.
Oh my God.
Number one, because that's a
Nothing.
nylon
Yeah.
that she has on, so it's slippery.
Watch her.
Yes.
Holy
That's
shit.
a bare
Yeah.
foot.
No, yeah.
And you can't tell the difference. And it was like, this is why models are special. People say.
No,
why
she's
is
the only one in the world, and maybe Tyra that can do that. And maybe Naomi. I don't know, but that's difficult. You know
you
how
don't see
difficult
that
it
at
is?
all. You don't see it like any kind of stagger.
I know.
No kind of limp.
I lose
crazy.
a flip flop and I can't walk.
No. That's nuts what she did. Think about how far she had to extend her
Yeah.
toe down. Like she's walking on her just tiptoe on the other foot.
We get it. You're beautiful. God's blessed you, and you're also a gymnast somehow.
Now it's like all those models. Have you ever seen those like super cuts of models just like getting destroyed in shoes as they have to walk? Because they give them these really impossible heels.
Yeah.
And then, models are just like these baby deer. Like they're just like all
Right.
like their like knees are just buckling. So they just have super cuts of just models eating it on the runway in those tiny shoes.
Now those, if you ever see a model, you're like, oh, I'm not tall enough. You know what I mean? Like, they are so tall.
Yeah, they're frighteningly tall.
Like, they don't look like any other people. It's like running into a basketball player or something.
Right.
You know, it's that
very
rare.
special. Yeah, this is like the teetering on this poor girl. I mean, she.
Oh, it's so sad.
It looked like a Benny Hill sketch.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
got
like oh no, she's starting to wobble.
Oh.
There it goes. Oh, no, ow.
And she tried to, but girl, just sit down at this
Just
point.
let it go. Oh no, there she goes.
Now, could that cost you your place? Like, would you be sent down to the minors? You know what I mean? You're not even, you're
1
not
minute
doing-
you're in, the next you're out.
Next thing you know, you're in a mall somewhere, like just doing a pantsuit.
She was so proud of herself that she fell again.
Have you guys ever been to one of these in like real life? Are they exciting or are they dull?
I've never been. Actually,
I've been, and I've it caused me to want to go to the bathroom and throw up immediately during the break. They're so thin. I mean, and they look like there's some thickness there. There's none. They're thin. They have to tell them to eat.
Well, you know what's really even funny? Even with actors, I've met plenty of guys, and you're like, oh, he weighs like 125 pounds.
Yeah, like,
he's an action star beating people up, but in real life, he couldn't beat up anybody.
There's like little
but they're so tiny in Hollywood. They're the tiniest people.
Like, I was shocked to think, like, Sylvester Stallone is so tiny. And he's like an action star. He's Rocky.
He's also
teeny.
like 5'6".
Yeah.
So is Tom Cruise is like 5'6".
Yeah. They're shorties.
Yeah, they're little, but I guess that fits them into the screen better somehow. You know what I mean? I guess at some point you're like, okay, we can fit you in this box. Off you go.
Yamanika Saunders is in studio.
She is. Tell the good news about it too, Chris.
Her Comedy Central half hour premieres this Friday, September 15th
So happy.
at 12:30 a.m. and on Twitter and Instagram, it's at Yamanika.
Yes.
Now, how long ago did you shoot this, darling?
This was in May.
Yeah. So it's a while. You've moved on from that material.
All that material is done. I mean, I have to tape an album as well, so I will reprise it a little bit. But I'm on to new, more hateful things. This special, if you see the next one that I have prepared for you guys, you're gonna be like, oh, things happened to her. and really things didn't happen. Things happened, but they didn't happen that quick. It's just that, trying to get on as a comic, you have all this material and you evolve from it. And sometimes by the time the industry is like, oh, we want to give you something, you're like, oh, I have to explain to people who I am. So this is sort of who Yamanika is, and how I think and my train of thought and what irks me and all of that. And then the next one, we just going to be, very, very not safe for work.
Do you have a manager that you bounce this stuff off of, or are you?
I don't bounce anything off my manager. I think he's always surprised.
Right.
I think he really is always surprised. I work alone, and I think that's going to be my problem soon, having to figure out how, because I think no one can get my sensibility, and a lot of times I know what sounds right. There's certain ways that I say things. There's certain ways that I am, and you just can't prepare that. So I know the bigger you get, you have to start getting people on your team to help you get the content out. But I work alone.
Yeah. So that'll be tougher for you as things keep changing because you don't want any feedback.
I don't. I like for people to watch what I've put out and then go this, and then I'll think for the next one. I'll go, okay, let me think about this and that. But people, like, some of the things that people think, it's always like, oh, I heard, it's like either the dirtiest thing they've ever heard in their life. And it's like, I'm not about being dirty. I'm curious. Right. So some of the things that I'm talking about are dirty because I am curious, but I'm not dirty for dirty's sake. And so, or it's like and I told my man, blah, 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 it's like all that sass, neck rolling. And it's like, you don't, I just, you don't leave me alone. Thank you. But I think the best is when audience members come up and they go, oh, what you should say in your little skit is my cousin. Come here. And they always have the cousin or whoever with them. Come over. Remember that time we went fishing? And it was like, oh my God, I'm not going to put a joke in about you fishing with your cousin. And you found out that he was retarded. I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I can't.
Yeah. Last week I was sitting out with Derek Gaines, and we're just enjoying the street, and it's nice. And an old guy comes out and goes, I just Googled a bunch of jokes, and I'm going to tell them to you guys.
That's awesome.
And I literally did. I go, Derek loves jokes. I got to run back inside. And I left them with the guys.
That's so crazy.
And I was saying, like, how do you get these jokes? And first I made him tell, like, how to get Google and just write funny jokes, you know? And I was like, to Derek, and Derek is, all he wants to do is write material all the time. I go, Derek, you should do some of these. This would be great. This would be great for you. Well, I am so happy for you, darling. You really deserve it, too.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad all these things are happening right now. So, where else are you appearing? Where can people come and see you?
Well, I have. You can see me either at Stand Up New York Comedy Club, The Stand, Dangerfields, anywhere but the Comedy Cellar. And also you can see me on, I have a show, I don't know if we can announce it, but it's coming out in November. Just keep your eyes tuned to VH1. It's out in November. November is also my birthday month, November 3rd. So again, if you are a single man and you really want to get married, wedding rings are on my birthday list. And
Do you have a type? Is there a type of guy that you like?
Here's the thing, my type is changing.
Yeah.
I never really had a type. I just like a guy who's like has a great personality and I can gel well with him. And then if I like his personality, then I can become attracted to him.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm really into like really jacked old white men. I don't know if this is old, but like
that is not where I thought you were gonna go. Really jacked old women.
I encountered two really jacked. I shouldn't say old.
Is it like, Aaron Berg?
That's what I was wondering.
No. I should also add tall to the list.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aaron. Aaron's probably so sick of me. I've been over their house so many times to hold the baby. I just love the baby so much.
Oh, yeah,
oh my God, the baby's so cute.
Yeah, she's so adorable. I'm going to steal her, I promise.
She's so cute.
At 50, this guy was like 53, 54, jacked white dude. He made me go look up white man, black woman porn. Because I never thought about having sex with a white guy before. I mean, like, it just never crossed my mind because I'm like, I have like a lot of ass and the bandwidth of the penis would have to be a certain way. So I just think it's only a black guy, but like, black guys ain't packing like that either. You know what I mean? Like, that's all a fable. That's a fable about this magical black penis that's like tearing up the world. You know what I mean? I've been with some real regular black dudes going, is there more? Do I have to punch you in the gut to get more out or what? Because a little lonely back here.
Well, I can't wait until you find this magical, jacked, middle-aged
Me
white
too.
dude. It'll be the best.
I can't wait
And that's another special right there.
Yeah.
Another special
and a
right
TV
there.
show, because once he kills me, we'll be on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yamanika Saunders has been in the studio. Yamanika's Comedy Central Half Hour premieres this Friday, September 15th at 12:30 a.m. On Twitter and Instagram, it's at Yamanika.
Make sure that you check this out, too, because she's so funny and she's so fun. And you're going to have to watch it a second time because she just bam, 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 bam,
yes.
one bit after another. Darling, we'll see you again soon. I'm very, very happy for you.
Love having you.
Thank you.
And,
you guys.
all right, so next week, Chris, the Unmasked.
Thursday, September 21st, The Village Underground, Unmasked with Pamela Adlon.
Great show, great guest.
You go to the ibang.com for a chance of free tickets.
All right, and then we'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!